There you go, Sergei Yakurovich, the Hull City manager. They certainly appear to have outperformed many people's expectations, but that's a good thing for this league, isn't it, Darren Ambrose? They've shown that the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts.
Absolutely, and their away form is fantastic. Unbeaten in 8 away from home, winning 7 of those as well. They're the 4 you mentioned at the start. They're the 4th top goal scorers in this division, as we're treated to a firework display just in front of the stand in front of us. Looks fantastic. The atmosphere is great, but they've conceded more than anyone in the top half of the table. So there are flaws, there are faults in the Hull City side. I'm shocked, as I said, covered them first game of the season. I'm shocked to see where they are, and this is what the championship's about. Teams like Hull City struggled last season, stayed up last game of the season, and now look, they've got an opportunity. If they go on a mini run, they could push for the top 2. It's a fantastic story.
The incentive is there for both clubs tonight. If Ipswich win both of their games in hand on Middlesbrough, they would go above the Teessiders in the table by virtue of that much better goal difference that they have. Hull City can also catch Middlesbrough on 66 points as things stand. So much to play for. And Ipswich Town, who you might remember, started the season with no wins in their first 4, and it was all a bit eggy early on in the season after relegation, Darren. But boy oh boy, how they've recovered, and Kieran McKenna has most definitely been backed in the January window by his board.
Yeah, absolutely, bringing in some fantastic players. We spoke about Marcelino Nunez. I think he's been a really shrewd signing, a top signing. Anis Mehmeti as well coming in, not obviously starting today. They spent an awful lot of money on Wally Egerle. Got his goal, didn't he, against Watford. It was a great finish. And look, as you said at the start of the show, it's the second best home form against the second best away form. Hull City unbeaten in 8 away from home. Ipswich unbeaten in 11 at home. It's made for a really good game of football. I expect high tempo, full of quality, and a real fast start of 2 teams that are pushing for that top 2 in the division.
Well, the teams are out and doing their final preparations. Both teams are in their first choice colours. You'd expect Ipswich to be in their royal blue shirts and socks and white shorts, but Hull in the black and amber. Ready for the off here. Our referee is Lewis Smith from Lancashire, lining up with all the mascots and the 2 captains ahead of kick-off. Let me run you through the lineups again. For Ipswich, it's Walton in goal, Furlong, O'Shea, Kipre and Greaves in the back 4, Matasiwa and Taylor, Egerle, Nunez and Clark behind Hurst in attack. As for Hull City, Pando the goalkeeper, looks like 3 at the back, Hughes, Egan and McNair, Coyle, Crooks, Slater and Drammett across midfield with Gelhart and Kumas along with Miller in attack. And a cracking atmosphere here in Suffolk tonight on a relatively clear, dry and chilly night, but not overtly cold. But everyone's ready to roar on Ipswich Town here, in this good 1,000 or so Hull fans that have travelled all the way down the East Coast and into East Anglia to sit in the Cobbold stand opposite us with this fantastic commentary position that we have right over the halfway line. The managers' dugouts are directly beneath us. We're at the bottom of the top tier of this cooperative stand, with the Bobby Robson stand to our left and the Alf Ramsey stand to our right. And it's the Alf Ramsey stand at Ipswich to our right. They'll be attacking that end of the pitch rather, Ipswich, in this first half. Keep you in touch with everything that's going on around the country. There's 3 Premier League games underway. No goals there. Games in League 1, League 2 and in the FA Cup tonight, where Port Vale are taking on Bristol City for the right to face Sunderland on Sunday. Ipswich send the ball downfield as we get underway here on Talksport 2. And straight away they've won a throw on the left-hand side, and a chance for the former Hull City player Jacob Greaves to hurl a long throw into the Hull City box. Jack Taylor makes a run down the left-hand side of the area, but it's gone back to Jack Clark, one of 5 players brought into the team by Kieran McKenna tonight, and then it's knocked back to 2 of the back 4 for Ipswich, Dara O'Shea and Cedric Kipre. Now Darnell Furlong tries to find Egerle on the right-hand side, who impressed me the last time I saw him here, Darren Ambrose. A real box of tricks, the youngster in the Ipswich midfield. Yeah, he is, and he scored a good goal away at Watford. Here he is again, just at the edge of the area, back to goal. Tees up Jack Taylor, looking for Jack Clark, but Cody Drammer got a foot in and got it away, but Ipswich keep the press on, and they're keeping the ball inside the whole half of the field in these early stages. A minute gone. 0-0 on Talksport 2 on EFL Live. 4th against 5th. Here's Darnell Furlong once more. Looking at the whole formation as well, Louis Coyle's actually playing out on the left-hand side, Drama on the right. So opposite to what we might ordinarily have thought. So Coyle on the left-hand side, Drama on the right. And Ipswich in possession with Darnell Furlong. It's a long ball looking for George Hurst, who's trying to get away from his man. He's pushed him over. He got into the box and thought he was clear, but he'd pushed John Egan to the ground. The assistant had spotted it on this near side and gave Hull City the free kick. Didn't stop John Egan giving a mouthful to the assistant.
Yeah,
maybe not for flagging quick enough.
Yeah, he delayed the flag, didn't he, the assistant referee over this side. I mean, the referee had a fantastic view, so it was a definite foul. He got a little bit overexcited. George Hurst thought he was going to bounce over him, put his arm to the back of Joe Egan's head, and Joe Egan went down a little bit easy, but it's a clear foul.
Scored at the weekend, George Hurst, in the 3-0 win against Swansea. 8 goals in the Championship this season for son of David. And the free kick sent downfield by Pandor. Liam Miller tries to get away down the left-hand side, but he'd fouled Darnell Furlong in making that aerial challenge down this near side. So now it's Ipswich's turn to give the ball to their goalkeeper for a free kick. Actually, Christian Walter will roll it to Dara O'Shea, and he will play a square ball into midfield for Jack Taylor. Taylor being watched all the time by Joe Gelhardt. Lewis Kumas is there as well, on loan from Liverpool. Lewis Kumas, having spent the first half of the season on loan at Birmingham City. Here is Liam Miller. Can't get hold of possession, but Kumas brings it down with his arm. You heard about 28,000 people scream handball. Although Darren Ambrose didn't scream it, funnily enough. He's straight down the middle tonight, though. I was 3 minutes gone, 0-0.
I screamed it in my head, don't worry about that. Clear handball. And you know what? It's the start from Ipswich is impressing me at the moment. They're playing a real high press, and when they're losing it, they're getting it back immediately. 3, 4, 5 of them. Hull City are trying to get out of it at the moment. They've won it back again with Darnell Furlong.
McNair wins to throw as well for Hull City on this near side, which Louis Coyle, the Hull skipper, has come across to take. Such a great servant for Hull City, Louis Coyle. Over 200 appearances for the Tigers. He joined in the midst of Project Restart from Fleetwood Town. Now he's the captain of the club. He's looking for an option with this throw about 20 yards inside Ipswich territory. On this near side, the Hull's left as they're attacking the Bobby Robson stand. McNair picks up the loose ball, tucks it back to halfway for Charlie Hughes. Now Drama on the right-hand side, being faced up by Jack Clark, so he has to roll back into his own half. First goal of the night in the EFL goes in at Rodney Parade, and Tranmere lead at Newport by 1-0. Tranmere have lost 9 out of their last 10 in 19th, but Newport, the bottom side in League 2, have been pegged back, so it's 0-1. Newport are behind. They've lost 3 out of their last 5. And in the National League, there's a few games there tonight, and managerless Woking are 1-0 up at Boston United through Ollie Sanderson. Earlier today, England's women won 6-1 against Ukraine, with Alessia Russo and Jess Park amongst the goals for Serena Wiegmann's Lionesses. Balls at the back with Ipswich Town. 5 minutes played on Talksport 2 on EFL Live. This one championship game, but boy oh boy does it mean something. It's Ipswich 0, Hull 0. Calm passing across the back, and then Jacob Greaves lost the ball, and then Jack Taylor just gets away from the attentions of the Hull City midfield, slides it down the left looking for the run of Greaves, but it was slid out of play by Charlie Hughes. Throw to Ipswich, level with the 18-yard line, taken quickly by Greaves. Clark spins away from a challenge. Rochdale are ahead in the National League. Second place side lead Brackley by 1-0. Emmanuel Diaz-Aruve and Jack Clark trying to send a pinpoint pass down the left-hand side, but there was a foul on Cody Drama as he tried to clear it, and the referee's given another free kick to Hull City. The game hasn't really settled yet, Darren Ambrose. 0-0.
No, it's all fast, it's all shutting people down, closing down, winning possessions. Bit of a battle at the moment. No one's really got a foothold. Had a passage of play just yet. No real goal mouth action either. I think they just need to settle down. There'll be some nerves. Of course, there'll be some nerves that they're both looking for a win. Particularly Ipswich. They're one of their games in hand on Middlesbrough. If they win both of them, they obviously go above them on goal difference. So there'll be a little bit of element of nerves around Portman Road.
Their other game in hand is the one that's been twice postponed against Portsmouth due to various problems. A frozen pitch one time, a waterlogged pitch the second. Is
melted.
Lewis Kumas down the right-hand side for Hull City. Away to our left. Rolls it back to Drama, down the touchline in front of that Cobbold stand. And Hughes forced to go back into his own half. Egan, again, that's good pressing from Ipswich Town, as Darren Ambrose mentioned, but an equally good ball to release Drama down the whole right, gets to level with the area, and a great challenge from Jack Taylor prevented the cross going in, but it is a Hull City throw by the corner flag, 0-0.
Yeah, acknowledged as well, Drama. John Egan, fantastic 50-yard over the head, and then it was Jack Taylor that just got back, helped out Jacobs Greaves, who just got forward, helped his teammate out, put it out for a throw-in.
Hull have it on the right with Drama. Swings a low cross in, cleared away comfortably at the near post by Greaves, and then he hooks it high into the air. Wealdstone 1, Morecambe 0. Olufela Olamola with the opener for Wealdstone, and York are ahead, the leaders ahead at Boreham Wood in the National League, unbeaten in the league since the 1st of October, the Minster men, and they lead through Ollie Pearce at Boreham Wood. Hull take a quick free kick on halfway, but it's won back by Ipswich and tucked into the right back position for Darnell Furlong. And now Marcelino Nunes looks to release Eggerly down the Ipswich right, midway point of the half. Lovely ball back in field for Marcelino Nunes, plays it across the 18-yard line just behind Hurst, who couldn't retrieve it, but the ball drifted out to the left where Greaves plays a 1-2 with Taylor holding on to it on the touchline. Good ball in field for Matasiwa, out to the left hand side. Chance for Taylor to get across in here, faced up by a couple of Hull players. Regan Slater and Drama, gets it away from them, back to Jack Clark in midfield, and now Cedric Kipre, who's scored a couple of worldies this season, plays it up to the edge of the area for Hurst. Furlong shovels it out to Eggerly on this near side, the right, level with the 18-yard line, looking to work the space here, and as they play it infield, Matt Crooks just sticks a big toe end in and gets it clear for Hull City. Kipre slowing the game down just for a moment for Ipswich Town, plays it out to Clark, drifts in field from the left hand side, but then goes back out to Jacob Greaves. Clark again goes past Gelhardt, trying to go past Drama, lays it back to Greaves, first time cross into the near post is comfortably cleared by John Egan.
It's much better play. Look at this now, though.
Now Kumas has got the better of Kipre, and Miller is in acres of space going through the middle. Kumas only now gets his head up, plays it into the box, and O'Shea reads the danger and can clear. And if Lewis Kumas had got his head up 3 seconds before he actually did, Miller would have had a great chance. He'd have fed him earlier, but here come Ipswich on the counter-attack. It's Eggerly, right-hand side, the corner of the penalty area. Now running into the box. He's got Coyle backtracking, and he wins a corner off the fullback. Ipswich's first of the game as we approach 10 minutes on Talksport 2, 0-0.
Oh, it's livened up now end-to-end this last couple of minutes. As you said, Louis Kumas, I think he lost his footing just at the wrong time, and he couldn't get his head up to find the pass, because he was in Liam Miller, in on goal. It had been a one-on-one. Then down the other end, see that man, Sindro Wally Eggerly, gets it onto his favoured left foot and just deflected wide for, is it the first corner of the day?
It is the first corner, right by the players' tunnel, which intersects the Sir Ralph Ramsey stand and the main stand that we're sat in. Left-footed in swinger then from Eggerly. Into the near post. The heads go up and it's headed clear by Crooks, who got a good strong head on it inside the penalty area. Comes out to the right, and Eggerly again swings it back into the box. Headed clear by Egan this time, and Nunez, as it comes to him, tries to thump it goalwards on the half volley from fully 30 yards out, and it's fair to say it screwed a little bit wide. 0-0, goal kick.
Yes, it did. It hit the advertising board halfway up the Sir Alfred Ramsey stand to our right. I think wrong option there. He should have just brought it down, maybe recycle play, put it wide to Wally Eggerly. A couple of wrong decisions at the moment. They had a lot of passage of play, Ipswich, in 20-30 passes. There was a moment that Marcelino Nunes could have hit the shot. He then played it to Jack Taylor. He could have hit the shot. He decided to try to play it wide. Maybe one or two decisions. Just sometimes it's better off, and believe me, I know it. Just get it on your foot and hit one at goal.
Free kick or goal kick Smacked downfield by Ivo Pandor. Straight onto the head of Dara O'Shea for Ipswich. 11 minutes gone on Talksport 2. 0-0. Liam Miller wins the ball on halfway. And then Crooks tried to release Kumas down the left-hand side, but there just wasn't enough loft on the ball. Ipswich get it back. And Furlong tucks it back to his teammate, a former West Brom teammate. In fact, 3 of the back 4 are ex-West Bromwich Albion for Ipswich, in Messrs Furlong, O'Shea and Kipray. Played up to Matasiwa, tucks it back to Kipray, just past the midway point of his own half. No real press from Hull City when they don't have it in the Ipswich half. They're waiting until O'Shea gets about near to the centre circle, and then they'll put the press on. Ball downfield, trying to release Hurst through the middle. Well read by John Egan, and then Furlong heads it straight out of play for a throw to Hull City. 12 minutes gone. 0-0 on Talksport 2. Here's Darren Ambrose.
They're sitting rather deep, aren't they, Hull, when the Ipswich get the ball? They're just saying, come and break us down. And sometimes that's a risky strategy against a team like Ipswich, full of quality players. But that's what I'm saying. When they get in and around that box, sometimes you just need to unleash the shot, because then they have to come and shut you down.
Hurst with a lovely ball, crossfield from right to left to pick out Greaves up against his old club. Clark forced back to halfway by Regan Slater, who's really tigerish there, the whole midfielder trying to win it back. Funny that, seeing as he plays for the Tigers. Matasuo, I just realised what I said then. Here's Dara O'Shea in the centre circle, finding Furlong, midway point of the whole half. Out to the wing on this near side, and Sindra Eggerly tucks it back in field for Matasuo. Dundee United 1, St Mirren 0 in the 1 Scottish Premiership game tonight. Marcus Fraser for the Tangerines. Ball played up to the edge of the whole penalty area, but it evades George Hurst, and Ivor Pandur can just clutch hold of it. And Maidenhead United lead against AFC Tottenham in non-league tonight. But York and Rochdale, the top 2 in the National League, are both ahead early on. No goals in the Premier League to speak of. And Wolves against Liverpool kicks off in the next 15 minutes or so at Molineux. Adrian and the team are taking you around the grounds on Talksport tonight here on Talksport 2. I'll let you know about goals going in around the country, but our firm concentration is here in Suffolk at Portman Road, where it is Ipswich Town 0, Hull City 0. We played 13 and a half minutes.
Not really creating much, Hull City, at the moment. As I said, they're just sitting off Ipswich, saying come and break us down, and they're not really doing that at the moment. They're trying to force it into George Hurst. I'm pleased for George Hurst. Scored in his last couple of games, didn't score in 10 before that, I think, and he was getting a little bit of criticism. Needed one like the goal he scored against Watford, just to come off his belly and go in, and that's all good forwards. Then the next one, they go on a run of goal scoring, maybe again tonight.
Well, he's made a good run down the right-hand side, and he's won a corner for Ipswich off John Egan. Showed himself to make a run down the right-hand side of the box. He was found by the forward pass, held it up well, and wins Ipswich a corner, 0-0.
Yeah, and what I like there is when he was wide, I looked into the box, and there was Jack Taylor, Jack Clark and Nunez all making a run into the box. So he wasn't isolated, he could have found one of them.
So another corner for Sindra Eggerly in front of the players' tunnel. Down to our right-hand side. It's going to be another left-footed in-swinger as we approach the quarter-hour mark. Deep corner to the far post this time. Greaves trying to head it back across. Did get something on it, but it had gone out of play. And it actually went off a Hull player, because Ipswich have been awarded a second successive corner, but they're going to have to go all the way across to the other side. So Nunez is going to take this one, 0-0.
Yeah, and Dara O'Shea is asking the question to Lewis Smith, the referee. I think I see him fall over. He got dragged down in the box. I think it was Charlie Hughes. So I think he's just telling the referee just to keep an eye on that.
He now moves away and goes back to the edge of the 6-yard box. So another in-swinging corner, this time from the Ipswich left. Nunez strikes it now, right into the near post and headed out by Dramet. Very tight to the dead ball line. Liam Miller tries to bring it clear, but he ran straight into trouble. Ooh, it's cleared downfield.
Thought it was a foul. George Hurst on Liam Miller. Looked like he dragged him back. Lewis Smith, referee, was right there, said, no, play on. You dived. Not happy with that, Liam Miller.
In League 2, Walsall are trailing at home to Fleetwood Town. Walsall got their first win in 8 at the weekend. Fleetwood, though, are 4 unbeaten. Mark Helm with the goal for the Cod Army. 0-0 here at Portman Road. We've played nearly 16 minutes on your home of the EFL. Remember, we've got the Virtue Trophy semi-final tomorrow night. Luton against Northampton from 7:15 here. And the other Virtue Trophy semi-finals being played tonight. Doncaster against Stockport. Nothing to report there so far. Liam Miller picks the ball up from a crossfield pass, but he couldn't control it, and it allowed Darnell Furlong just to get a foot in and smash it out of play on this near side, and he won a throw for Ipswich in doing so.
Yeah, just didn't get his touch right, did he? Regan Slater with a lovely crossfield pass to Liam Miller. I think he just took his eye off it. Maybe thought Darnell Furlong was going to head it. He couldn't control it.
Kumas has robbed the ball off Taylor on halfway, and Regan Slater powers over the halfway line for the visitors. Finds Gelhardt approaching the edge of the penalty area. Little reverse ball into the box for Kumas. Has he won a corner kick? No, it came off him. Last of all, it's been given as a goal kick. Tried to slide it in from the dead ball line, but Kipre did well to knock it back against Kumas and out for an Ipswich goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, good run. Regan Slater once again at the heart of things for Hull, finding Kumas. And then, yeah, I thought it was a corner, but there was no complaints.
Furlong holds his arms out as he's running, as if to say, where's my option?
Yeah,
where's my option?
You could hear the crowd dance because Jack Clark was on his own, crossed the way. If he'd have just got his head up like we see earlier with Kumas, he was in on goal.
The ball's back with Christian Walton, the Ipswich goalkeeper, once again. Both these teams having back-to-back wins to protect going into this fixture. Good flick on from Jack Clark on halfway, and Hurst was trying to get away from Hughes, who just had a little nibble at him, and Ipswich have won a free kick right by the centre circle, just inside the whole half, taken quickly by Matasiwa for Nunez. Furlong will give it back to Matasiwa, who tucks it back into the centre circle for Dara O'Shea. 0-0 on Talksport 2, 17 minutes played at Portman Road. Good slid pass from Matasiwa forward, and Jack Taylor spins at the edge of the area and fires a right-footed shot just wide. Lovely skill at the edge of the area to touch it away from the defender, to wrong foot the defender, and then a low daisy cutter that was only just wide of Pandor's right-hand post. 0-0.
Oh, it's lovely play. Lovely play. Matasiwa, Hurst, Nunez found its way to Jack Taylor with a beautiful turn. I think he's got to do better, Dance, for me. He's got a wonderful strike with his right foot. Normally you'd see that nestle maybe into the top corner, but he's just dragged it wide, just inside the penalty area. We've got a replay screen in front of us, and you can tell by his reaction he knows that's a big miss for him.
In the Premier League, first goal of the night in the 7:30s 's has gone in at Hill Dickinson. It's Everton 1, Burnley 0. Everton have only won 4 games at their new home all season in the league, but James Tarkowski's put them in front against the Clarets. That's the first Premier League goal of the night. 0-0 here in Suffolk. Cleared away by Hull up to the halfway line, but it won't reach Lewis Kumas. It's straight to Cedric Kipre. So once again, Ipswich trying to get Hull City hemmed in inside their own half. And a ball out to Greaves on the left-hand side. He had to nod it infield first time. It was the only way he could control it, but he just nodded it straight out of play for a Hull City goal kick. 9 away wins Hull have managed this season, and they are outperforming their, if you believe in such things as XG or XP or whatever these newfangled stats are, they're certainly far higher in the table than the computers would have you believe they should be.
Yeah, and that's why they're the shock team in the Championship this season. They could truthfully finish higher as well.
Oh, Matt Crooks does really well on halfway, just a blocker, an intended through ball, and he's bringing it downfield. Tall, rangy midfielder Matt Crooks finds Liam Miller. Miller turns and shoots from 30 yards out. Decent idea, but he got right under the shot, and it was always going over Walton's crossbar for a goal kick. But there's the first real shot in anger from Hull City, 0-0.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Liam Miller coming in from the left-hand side, and big Matt Crooks finding him. Lovely bit of feet from him outside the box. Found him. Yeah, just blazed his shot over the bar, didn't he?
Taylor flicks it out to the Ipswich left, and Greaves, who can take the ball over the halfway line, starts to increase his pace. Out to Jack Clark. Tucks it back in field for Jack Taylor. Taylor with a diagonal ball into the box. He was looking for Hurst, and Hurst appreciates the attempt to find him, but the ball was fired a bit too fiercely and went straight behind on one bounce for a goal kick to Hull City. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, he found himself in a good position there, George Hurst, in the box. He was in between, I think it was Hughes and John Egan. Jack Taylor just overhit his pass, and again, looking on our screens at his reaction, he was frustrated with himself there. So if he could pick him out with that great right foot we know he's got, George Hurst would have been in on goal. Fans
getting antsy as Pandor takes an age to prepare and then send the goal kick downfield. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability and price may vary. Ipswich Town 0, Hull City 0, 4th against 5th. Still a lot of sparring here in these early stages, I would say, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I look at Jacob Greaves on the left-hand side, and he does impress me when he plays there, but he's centre-half at trade, really, and you've got Leif Davies, and he's getting a lot of joy out there, Jacob Greaves, so maybe that's something Kieran McKenna might look at. With the attacking threat of Leif Davies could cause issues.
But he's been nowhere near, as a free kicks won by Jack Clark in the centre circle. Leif Davies has been nowhere near the assist king that he was in the promotion season 2 years ago.
Yeah, because Connor Chaplin's gone to Portsmouth. I think he set him up about 10 times, 12 times in those seasons where they got promoted.
But Greaves is the man that's preferred to play against his old club, although Davies is amongst the substitutes. Thrown in by Furlong, goes back to the halfway line. I think Darnell Furlong was one of the first in this recent era of football to have the long throw at his disposal when he was at West Brom, and he had a personal towel assistant in the Halfords Lane stand.
Really?
Who had a towel ready to hand to him if they were attacking the Smethwick end.
That's amazing. I wonder if he's got one here. It's not allowed anymore, is it?
I don't think it is allowed. No. But yeah, he was a bit of a trailblazer, was Darnell Furlong.
He's done well since he's arrived here, by the way.
Yeah.
Really good. Settling himself at right back here.
Son of Paul, who was a well-known QPR and Birmingham striker in the 90s, Paul Furlong. But his son decided defence was the role for him, and he has a throw now, just Furlong, but he's not taking it long because it was inside his own half. Matasiwa faced up by Matt Crooks, who was missing for 7 games before he came back and scored the all-important winner for Hull at Fratton Park. You heard that game live on Talksport 2 on Saturday, and he is a unit, Matt Crooks. I forgot just how...
He's a monster of a man, isn't he, Dan?
He is huge. He's as wide as he is tall, or at least it feels that way. Here's Jack Clark, getting up to the edge of the area at pace. Gets the better of a deflection off Charlie Hughes, and he's actually won a corner. That's just running in a straight line and frightening the defensive back line there, Jack Clark, and he's won his team a corner, 0-0.
Yeah, as Regan Slater again arguing about that decision. I initially thought that as the whole player went to clear it, it's hit Jack Clark and gone off for a goal kick. As I see a replay of it now, I think it has come off the whole City player. I think it's Joe Gilhart that was tracking him the whole way. Yeah,
it wasn't the two players that went in for the challenge. It was a third party that took it behind, wearing a whole shirt. So Nunez with another corner. Right-footed in-swinger for Ipswich, under the crossbar. Far post is Greaves, couldn't get the touch on it. In fact, he flicked it away from goal, and Hull can break, but they've only got Liam Miller up at the moment. He gets up to halfway, down the left-hand side. Matasiwa trying to close down the space. Louis Coyle's gone ahead of him. Miller looks further to his right for Lewis Kumas, who brings it down 25 yards from goal. Now Ipswich have got lots of blue shirts behind the ball. Kumas, though, strokes it out to Coyle, and then Miller again on the left-hand side. He has to go back in field to Hughes. Coyle again for Hull. Good swirling cross, but it goes over the head of Gelhardt and goes behind for a goal kick to Ipswich Town. Just starting to open up again a little bit here at Portman Road. On Talksport 2, it's 0-0 though, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, the break from Hull, really good. Liam Miller once again showing his pace, but the speed of the whole Ipswich team to get back as Matasiwa loses it.
To Matt Crooks, who's driving forward to about 30 yards, plays a through ball, trying to release Gelhardt, but he really overhit the through ball really firmly.
Yeah.
Like when you're hitting a putt from about 70 metres away from the hole.
I think you count that as a shot off target, that one. Tried the through ball and it's gone wide. It's gone wide of the goal. But yeah, the speed that Ipswich got back into shape to avert the danger of the whole City counter-attack was brilliant. And when it came to nothing, about 5 or 6 of the Ipswich players applauding each other.
They did get themselves funneled behind the attack very, very quickly. And Liam Miller was shifting when he got into the Ipswich half down this left-hand side. 0-0, 25 minutes gone. So we're past the quarter mark of this first half, or the game rather. And Jack Taylor trying to bring it away for Ipswich. Bit of a lucky deflection off Crooks, rolls it into the path of Jack Clark. Still inside his own half, plays a square ball to Furlong. Ooh, and he nutmegs Liam Miller as he got to him.
You could see it coming a mile off.
And so did Miller, because he threw his head back in despair that it had been done to him. but then Furlong
He's
advised
laughing now, Liam Miller.
And Matosea wins a free kick, but Clark and Taylor can't keep it, and it's brought away by John Egan from centre-half up to halfway. He was trying to feed it through to Lewis Kumas, and you can hear the Ipswich fans just starting to feel a little tension that they're not in control of the game as they would like. Oliver Norwood gives Stockport the lead in that Football League Trophy semi-final at Doncaster. 11 minutes gone there. We'll bring you the second semi-final tomorrow between Luton Town and Northampton at Kenilworth Road. Tyler Morrison, former Spurs midfielder Kevin Watson will be on commentary for that one for you. Darren Ambrose and Ian Danter with you at Portman Road. 26 gone. Still no score between Ipswich Town and Hull City. Another throw to Ipswich down the left-hand side, taken short and rolled back to Dara O'Shea, just in front of the centre circle. Now Furlong takes over. Out to the right wing and Sindra Eggerly. Furlong again. Hull really are closing down the spaces, so they're having to work it right and left. Ipswich looking for that way of playing through. Matosea plays it just to his right for Marcelino Nunez. Hits a lovely diagonal ball, fully 60 metres, looking for Jack Clark, but the bounce of the ball takes it over Jack Clark's head. If it was Jacob Greaves' height, Jack Clark, he might have got hold of that.
He's just saying that they got in the lights. I could see him saying it to Nunez. Otherwise, I think the question that Nunez was asking was, why did you let it bounce? It was obviously the distance he hit it from is obviously going to bounce over him.
So it's a throw to Hull City that Cody Drammer will take. Former Leeds man hurls it down the far touchline. Greaves for Ipswich heads it back in field. Crooks tries to nod it down to a Hull City shirt, but instead it's won back by Ipswich. Good foot in from Regan Slater, was it, who put the foot in? No, forgive me, it wasn't. It was Paddy McNair who put the foot in. Back it goes to the edge of the area. Hughes was under a bit of pressure from Hurst, but works it out left for Louis Coyle. Coyle floats it up to halfway. Crooks inevitably wins the flick on, and now Liam Miller, he tries to beat Wharton from 40 yards out, and he's laughing at himself again because he got that all wrong as he cut him for the left-hand touchline. Saw Christian Wharton off his line, tried to lob him, but
he's been given offside, Dan, so I think that's why he done it. He's never offside, by the way. We're right there, but the official over the far side deemed him offside, and that's why he tried the speculative one from distance.
Jack Clark for Ipswich at the other end brings the ball in field from the left-hand side. Short pass to his immediate right for Furlong. Out to the right wing and Eggerly once more. Furlong goes back in field and plays a short 1-2 with Matosea. Now in the centre circle, it's O'Shea. Good ball round the corner from Taylor, but Clark hadn't anticipated it. And here come Hull City again, looking to get Miller in behind Furlong, and Miller will get there. He's got Furlong isolated as he gets into the area. Onto his right foot shot is blocked by Furlong. Comes out to the edge of the box. Slater with a drive. Hits an Ipswich player, Greaves. There were half-hearted claims for handball against the former Hull man, but instead the ball drifts out of play, and it will be a throw-in. And the assistant and the referee haven't decided between them which way the throw's going. I'm not seeing a flag go up. In fact, there's a whistle gone for a free kick infield. It's no throw-in at all. But again,
there's a threat, and Hull
quick
City.
Ball downfield.
Yep, they were a threat, and Kieran McKenna won't like that. Liam Miller getting in quite a lot. Louis Kumas getting in as well quite a lot down over the far side. Just one long ball. This reminded me a lot of the game a couple of weeks ago against Watford. They're sitting back trying to hit him on the counter. It was a free kick in the end, deflected into Wiley Eggerly, that ended up scoring the first goal. Could come from a set play again today. Well,
they do say styles make fights sometimes, Darren Ambrose, and we've got a 3 at the back against a 4 at the back, and normally these sort of systems, when they combat each other, means that somebody's got an advantage in midfield.
Yep.
Where do you see the advantage being? Is an advantage not being seized upon properly here by one of these two teams?
It seems that way, yes. I mean, look, Matt Crooks probably counts as 2 in the centre midfield there, so that evens itself out, to be honest.
If he stepped in front of me in a queue, I don't think I'd say anything. Down the left-hand side for Ipswich.
Wouldn't see anything either.
No, you wouldn't. Jacob Greaves tries to find Jack Clark in field, but can't find his man. Hull have it back. Just outside their own penalty area. Hughes Lays it back in field, but he's given it away to Jack Taylor. Early ball into the area. Hurst, a first-time shot as the ball ran across his body, but he hit it straight to the goalkeeper, and Pandor did well.
Oh, he did really well. It's a big chance again. Probably the best chance of the half. We had the Jack Taylor one earlier, but this was even better. Jack Taylor winning it, high press, working, fires it across. It's just at an angle, weren't he, George Hurst? Good save in the end, Ivor Pandor.
Great pressure from Dara O'Shea on Lewis Koumas, and it goes out of play for a throw. Koumas wanted a foul. He felt that he was being manhandled by O'Shea. Now there's some 50-50 challenges going in, but that's not 50-50. That's a foul on an Ipswich midfielder, and that'll be a free kick to the Tractor Boys. It was Greaves that was brought down, and a free kick. Left-hand side, approaching the corner of the Hull City penalty area. 31 minutes played on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, and we still await the deadlock to be broken between Ipswich Town and Hull City. Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, this is a real opportunity. We spoke before, didn't we, about the set play delivery. Wiley Egley normally takes it on the other side, but this one is definitely, for me, Marcelino Nunes. If he gets this right, the big players in the box.
Hull City holding their line level with the penalty spot as Nunez runs up, whips it in near post. No one in Ipswich Blue can get a touch. It's out to the edge of the box, and Clark retrieves it, keeps it away from Koumas, and Ipswich take it back into their own half. Grimsby 1, Salford 0 in one of the League 2 games tonight. Kieran Green, ball given away by Ipswich, and another offside flag. I think this was against Lewis Koumas this time, but Hull City frustrated, and a quickly taken free kick. Was that from the right place? Well, I guess it was. And Ipswich had the ball, but they, rather than power it downfield, they just laid it back to halfway for O'Shea and Kipre.
They're not happy, the whole dugout, the whole coaches, with that offside decision. I think it was the right one, though. I think he came back from an offside position.
Well, it's happened rather a lot to Hull in this first half, the flag going up against them. Kipre again, right by the centre circle. Square ball to his right for O'Shea, and then further to this near side, the right, with Ipswich attacking the Sir Ralph Ramsey stand to our right in this first half. Crooks steps in again for Hull City, just flicks it down the left side, asking Koumas to get ahead of his defender. He's done really well. He's manhandled O'Shea this time. Koumas into the area, hits it against Furlong. Well, he's won a corner. He'd have wanted more than that, but the sheer persistence of the Liverpool loanee got the better of Dara O'Shea, and has won Hull City their first corner of the game, 0-0.
Yeah, Lewis Koumas, I think Dara O'Shea, the Ipswich captain, calling it was a foul. Brilliant defending from Matasiwa in the end, getting back, helping his teammate out, helping his captain out. They're all asking the question. I think he just needs to be a little bit stronger, Dara O'Shea, in front of us.
Surprised about that. He's a bigger unit than Lewis Koumas, but good tenacious work from son of Jason Koumas. And he's won a corner, which is going to be taken by Paddy McNair on this near side. Punched away inside his 6-yard box by Christian Walton. Didn't jump. He was almost punching with his hands down by his rib cage. Out to McNair it goes again on this near side, the left. And then Egan tried to slide it down the left-hand side of the box, thinking that Liam Miller had made a run. And it's fair to say that Liam Miller had not made a run.
Yeah, it was right. It's the wrong pass. It was the wrong pass from John Egan. It was Paddy McNair and John Egan combining in the attacking third for Hull. And then Egan playing the wrong pass in the end.
Just over 10 minutes to go. Ian Danter and Darren Ambrose with you. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability, price may vary. Brilliantly kept in on this near side from Egley as Hurst fired a ball into his path, and then the challenge comes in from Louis Coyle against Egley, and that's our first yellow card of the game that goes to the Hull City captain, 0-0.
Yeah, right decision as well. As you said, it was a great take from Egley over here. George Hurst firing one out at him, controlled it really well. Yeah, and Louis Coyle thought he could get there, just nipped in front of him, Egley, and he brought him down. Right decision, yellow card.
Bottom side in the National League, Truro City are 1-0 up at Southend. Wreckhill Pike.
Could they go to the Premier League?
That's a reference Darren Ambrose is making to Dagenham and Redbridge getting new owners who claim that the Premier League is within their grasp. Free kick to Ipswich Town, who definitely want to be in the Premier League next season. Nunez with the free kick in the area, drops at the left-hand side of the area. They're trying to lob it across the face of goal through O'Shea. Hull managed to get it clear, but it only drops for Matasiwa in the centre circle. Nobody was forward for Hull, so it's easy for Matasiwa to claim. Now Jack Clark on the far left-hand side, wriggling away from two challenges, or trying to, but he got tripped by Joe Gelhardt, and that's a free kick level with the 18-yard line for Ipswich Town down their left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, it's even better position now for Marcelino Nunes. He's just making his way over there. Under-hit the free kick a couple of minutes ago. Needs to get this one right. It was a foul. Joe Gelhardt getting back for his team, working hard. Just trips up Jack Clark.
So once again, Nunez with the set piece. Just the one goal in the Premier League tonight so far. Everton 1-0 up on Burnley. No goals at Bournemouth or at Leeds, and Wolves and Liverpool now underway. Nunez with the free kick for Ipswich. Left-hand side. Oh. Real whip on that free kick, and that's punched away from right under his crossbar by Pandor. Back into the box, and Crooks helps it clear. But Nunez there again, juggles with the ball down the left-hand side, out to the wing. It's floated back into the box. Greaves tries to go up with a header. It might drop for Hurst, but out comes Pandor off his line and pounces on top of the loose ball. 8 minutes to half-time. Ipswich 0, Hull 0.
Much better delivery that time, Marcelino Nunes. It was really good play from either Pandor in the goal. Hull City twice saving his team. Decided to punch the first one. Punched it really, really well.
Ipswich fans trying to get behind their team as Matt Crooks has possession for Hull City just outside his own penalty area. Newport, the bottom side in League 2, equalise against Tranmere at Rodney Parade in League 2. That's 1-1. Michael Spellman for Christian Fuchs' side. Drilled down the right-hand side for Hull, and Kumas is trying to isolate O'Shea again. He plays the ball early across the face of goal. He hadn't looked up again this time, and Miller was about 5 yards behind the play. And then McNair is fouled by Egerle right in front of his manager, Sergei Yakirovic.
Yep, and he's asking for a yellow card, Yakirovic. And it's very similar to the Louis Coyle one. It wasn't.
No, now he's getting a yellow card, Yakirovic, for making the yellow card gesture to the referee. And now the fourth official is getting a load.
Can't do that though, Dan Scania.
Dean Whitestone, so he's got to be careful, Sergei Yakirovic. Meanwhile, Louis Coyle's gone down and wants some treatment. So it will be a free kick eventually to Hull City, right down beneath us, with 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Grimsby 2, Salford 0. Charles Vernon for Grimsby, looking for back-to-back wins. Salford got a win on the weekend after 5 straight losses, but they're still in the playoff picture. Wealdstone 1, Morecambe 1 as well in the National League. Morecambe third bottom, equalised through Chris Popoff against Wealdstone. So the latest scores we have for you: Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Everton 1, Burnley 0, Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. Those are now all half-time scores in the Premier League. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0 with about 10 minutes gone. 0-0 here on Talksport 2 live with 6 to the break between Ipswich and Hull, but there'll be a bit of time to add on. No goals anywhere in League 1's 3 games tonight at Barnsley, Exeter and Rotherham. And in League 2, Chesterfield are 2-0 up now on Colchester. Dylan Markanday, former Spurs trainee, gets the second for the Spyrights. Grimsby 2, Salford 0, as I mentioned. Newport 1, Tranmere 1 and Walsall 0, Fleetwood 1. And it looks, Darren Ambrose, does it, that Louis Coyle is going to have to come off here?
Yes, it does. It looks like he's struggling a little bit. I think it's his knee that they're testing, or his ankle. So I didn't see actually what happened. I don't think he was the one that was involved in the foul. I think it was Paddy McNair that got fouled.
It was. It's innocuous. It's happened off the ball for me. Can't think of anything obvious that Louis Coyle was involved in. Maybe he's just felt something go.
Yeah.
And that can be some of the worst stuff when it just goes innocuously. Whether it's a...
They're ready in a substitute now,
thigh muscle,
as we speak.
Yeah, they are getting Akin Famewo ready, who is a left back really, so he would mean that I would guess Drame might come over to the right hand side, stay on the right hand side, and Famewo would just slot in where Coyle's been playing. That would appear to be the plan, but the substitute board is already being prepared to announce the substitution, and the referee is telling the physios of Hull, come on, you can get him off the pitch and continue your treatment.
Well, he's right. If he's going off, as long as he's safe to go off. Obviously he's struggling a little bit, looks, but Yeah, need to get him off, get the game underway.
He might need to be helped off here, Louis Coyle.
Yeah.
He is. He's got one of the physiotherapy staff helping him out, so the change is going to be made, and Famewo therefore comes on for Hull City.
Big Matt Crooks takes the armband.
That's no great surprise, is it? Always likely that a player of...
He takes the armband to give it to someone else.
Oh, right, OK. So he gives it to Charlie Hughes. There we go, shows how much we know.
It wouldn't fit around his arm dance, that's why.
So Famewo is on. That's true. He joined from Sheffield Wednesday in the summer, one of that mass exodus of players from Hillsborough prior to the wretched season they've had at Championship level. So Famewo on, Coyle off, injured. And that's another injury that Sergei Akirovich could ill afford to do without. He's already lost Ryan Giles from down this left-hand side in recent weeks. So a free kick. McNair sends it up to the edge of the area. Kipro tries to head it clear for Ipswich. Furlong completes the clearance. Grimsby 3, Salford 0. Jude Suntup Bell with the third for Grimsby Town at Blundell Park, against what appears to be, right now, a very out of sorts Salford under Carl Robinson. Still nip and tuck here, Darren Ambrose, 3 minutes to half-time, 0-0.
Yeah, it certainly is. We've not really seen too many chances. Liam Miller's had a shot, isn't he, from put it over the top. We've had Jack Taylor with a good effort, and obviously the George Hurst one. Other than that, nothing really is happening in front of goal.
Matussi were robbed by Miller, plays it down the left-hand side of the box. Kumas thought about crossing on the run. Guess what? He's offside. That's not for the first time this evening.
Yeah, that's laziness from Kumas there to be offside. He shouldn't be offside in that position. His managers, I don't think he's complaining about that one, and he's actually telling his player just to hold the line.
Ipswich have dominated possession in this game. 72% of the ball has been for the Tractor Boys, but only one shot on target from either side from the 9 attempts at goal. 5 for Ipswich, 4 for Hull. Jack Clark can't quite get away from Regan Slater. Tried to feed it out to Gelhardt on the Hull City right, but it wouldn't work for him. Crooks is hobbling away after a 50-50 challenge. Matasiwa, meantime, plays a neat ball over halfway that Greaves can take in his stride and send out to Jack Clark on the Ipswich left. Plays the ball down the left-hand side of the box as Greaves had continued his run. Now Jack Taylor picks it up. 30 yards from goal. Chips the ball into the area, almost dropped for Nunez. Good defending, though, in the end by Egan. And Furlong has to go out to this near side to retrieve it. Clips the ball down the right-hand side. That's intriguing, but it actually goes behind before Marcelino Nunez could get anywhere near it. Goal kick as we approach the last minute of normal time in this first half, and it's still 0-0 between 4th and 5th here on Talksport 2.
So, the game plan for Hull City is working at the moment to try and hit Ipswich on the counter-attack with the pace of Miller and Kumas up front with Gelhardt as well. And Ipswich just forcing it in the last 5-6 minutes to get back to possession, get back to their style of play.
Yeovil 1, Tamworth 0 in the National League down at Hewish Park. Ryan Jones putting the Glovers ahead. Headed up in the air by Charlie Hughes, who's now got the captain's armband for Hull, then just volleyed downfield by McNair. So Ipswich will have a throw in their right back position, and we're about to find out how many added minutes we'll have at the end of this first half on Talksport 2. I suspect at least 4.
Yeah, that injury to Louis Coyle.
And Walton had the ball sent back to him inside his 6-yard box, but the goalkeeper did find O'Shea. Well, Matasiwa got a shout of man on as Kumas was herring after him, and then Furlong tries to clear it downfield, but he was guilty of giving it away. And now Liam Miller running at the back line. We're into that 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, and Miller tried to get the ball across the face of goal, ends up conceding a goal kick as Dara O'Shea got the better of him. 0-0.
Yeah, really good defending, Dara O'Shea. He's got pace, Liam Miller, and he didn't let it get beyond him. Then he quickly took the goal kick himself.
He did, and slid up neatly by Matasiwa to Nunez. Spots the run of Clark down the left-hand side. Lovely ball drifting out to the Ipswich left winger. 2 Hull players for company, though. Drifts away from one, but Cody Drammer stayed with him. Jack Clark lays it back off to Kipre. Now back out to the left-hand side. Taylor gives it back to Cedric Kipre. everybody in Hull, amber and black behind the ball. Now here's Darnell Furlong. Out to the right-hand side, and Eggerly. He's going to have a run here at Famewo. Tries to get the cross in off Famewo's legs. Corner kick in stoppage time for Ipswich Town, 0-0.
Yeah, big opportunity now. Probably the last opportunity. Got another 2 or 3 minutes to go. This time Marcelino Nunes, it's been Eggerly taking them from this side, in swinging. Now Nunes is down there to take an out swinger.
That's very true. It's been in swingers from this near side for now for the hosts. Nunes raises his right arm. Poor corner into the near post, and it is volleyed away by Liam Miller. Anywhere will do. There was nobody in a Hull shirt on halfway, so Ipswich recycle it back out to Nunes on this near side. Whips an early ball in, volleyed away by McNair. Kumas tried a little first touch, a little Cruyff turn to get away from Nunes, but Nunes just got a toe end in and it went out for a Hull City throw, 0-0.
It's been a good game, actually. Although we've not seen many goal-mouth opportunities, it's been a real thinking game at the moment, seeing who can get the better of one another. Maybe this could be one, as I said, from a set play or from a substitute.
Well, we've already had one substitute because of the injury to Louis Coyle. Here's Nunes for Ipswich, trying to thread the ball through legs up to the edge of the area, looking for Hurt. Good strong header from Furlong. Eggerly, was he caught by Famewo there? He was, says the referee. So this will be a free kick for Ipswich on the right, level with the 18-yard line, only about 4 yards in from the near touchline. So if Nunes is going to take this one, this would be swung away from the goalkeeper, although Eggerly's there as well.
Yes, those same two. O'Shea's going up to have a word with one of them. Marcelino Nunes at the minute. And
Eggerly moves
walks away.
So what O'Shea says goes. And Nunes will have this free kick for Ipswich Town. Hush descends on Portman Road as he takes 4 steps back from the ball. Hull defending about 10 yards from goal. Whipped in by Nunes, great delivery, good header clear though at the back by Charlie Hughes, and it went out of play in the end for a Hull City throw. It came off an Ipswich head last of all. Maybe Hughes didn't get a touch, looked like he did.
Yeah, it was a really good delivery once again, Marcelino Nunes. Yeah, I thought it came off a Hull head, but it's the Hull throw-in right in front of their travelling support over the far side from us.
They'll be happy enough with what they've seen in the first half. It's been pretty obdurate defence from Hull City. Only one real save that their keepers had to make from a George Hurst snapshot from just inside the 6-yard box that was fairly comfortable for Pandor to deal with. One last chance maybe for Ipswich as they win a throw on the left-hand side as Jack Clark hits it against Gelhardt. There's not much time of the minimum 4 minutes left to play. We're just about to tick round to 49 minutes now. Furlong in possession for Ipswich. Slides it down this right-hand side to Eggerly. Going to run inside for Mayo, but there's 3 Hull shirts around him, and as Crooks wins it back, the referee brings the first half to a close. It's been nip and tuck in this game between two sides locked together on 60 points in the Championship, and it's been tight and it's been tense, and chances have very much been at a premium. Only one shot on target in the 45 minutes. It came from Ipswich Town, who've had the lion's share of possession. Ball played in from the left-hand side for George Hurst, who got himself in space at the corner of the 6-yard box, let the ball run across his body, tried to send it goalwards. It was on target, but a comfortable save for Ivo Pandor in the Hull City goal. Other than that, Ipswich have failed to see their dominance in possession converted into big chances, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, they have. A little bit, dare I say, a bit of nerves around the place. Two teams vying for not just playoffs, but potential automatic. And as you said, there's been nip and tuck throughout the whole half. Two different styles of play. Hull City trying to counter-attack with the pace of Kumas, Gelhardt and Miller up front. And Ipswich trying to break down a real low block at the moment. That is difficult to do. They're trying. Maybe, as we've said before, it could come from a set piece. I think give it 10, 15 minutes maybe, we might see a couple of substitutions entering the field for Ipswich and Hull.
Is this a byproduct, Darren, of the number of changes that both managers have made tonight? Because I wouldn't say that, well, it'd be unfair to call it a disjointed performance from either side, but you wonder whether it's rotation for rotation's sake. on both managers' part. Whether I would imagine Mehmeti would be pretty unhappy that he's not starting tonight. I would imagine that there's others like McBurney most definitely not happy that he's starting tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Kyle Joseph as well. McBurney, top goal scorer. Joseph, third top goal scorer for Hull, and they're both sitting out. Sometimes I do think that. Sometimes I think it is rotating for the sake of rotating, but looks like Jakirovic has come here with a game plan to sit back, soak up the pressure for a little bit, and it has been a little bit of pressure, albeit not much goal mouth action. There's been a lot of possession for Ipswich, and give it probably an hour and then bring the big guns on to try and counter-attack and try and nick a win, which was probably what it would be.
Well, as things stand, this is exactly what all the teams around them, I would imagine, would want to be happening.
Agreed.
The fact that Hull and Ipswich are cancelling each other out and it's only 1 point apiece, because they would stay 4th and 5th if it ends like this on 61 points. Millwall would stay 3rd on 62. Middlesbrough would have crucially then a 5-point gap on Ipswich, who would still have one game in hand left to play to try and catch up with Middlesbrough. As we mentioned at the very start of this broadcast, if they won their 2 games in hand on the Borough, they'd be level and indeed would go above Middlesbrough on goal difference. But even for the teams below, like Wrexham and Southampton and Derby, this is good news, because it keeps both Hull and Ipswich within striking distance, Darren.
Yeah, this is the perfect result for all those teams around, particularly Middlesbrough, because they just open that little bit of a gap, because there's always, when Middlesbrough play, it's always Ipswich got a couple of games down on you, they could go above you. This would be perfect for them. But look, it's not over yet. There's a long way to go still, 45 minutes.
Sure is.
Plus whatever's added, and we know we've seen that in football before. A lot can happen in that time.
Indeed we do. Thank you, Darren, for the time being. Darren Ambrose with me, Ian Danter here at Portman Road. We've reached the break. We'll hear from Luton Town boss Jack Wilshere in just a moment ahead of their Virtue Trophy semi-final that we're bringing you tomorrow night on Talksport 2 as they take on Northampton. But at half-time here at Portman Road in this crucial championship game, it is Ipswich Town 0, Hull City 0.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
It's probably nothing. That's what Jack always thought when he felt a bit dizzy after physical exertion. He was only 17 and a keen basketball player. He was playing basketball when he had a cardiac arrest and collapsed. He was rushed to hospital and ended up on a life support machine. Jack was diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a serious but rare heart condition, and his chances of survival were believed to be just 8%. Jack's surgeon believed they could avoid a heart transplant. He underwent an 8-hour operation and was later fitted with an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, an ICD, and a pacemaker. Jack is now at university studying software engineering and getting on with his life as a normal teenager. British Heart Foundation is funding groundbreaking research, including pioneering gene therapies to fix the DNA spelling mistakes that caused Jack's heart to stop. So when you donate to British Heart Foundation, you're helping to fund life-saving research. Donate now at bhf.org.uk and keep us beating.
At Kia, we know that inspiration begins with a first. Your first job, your first love, your first home. Now it's time for your first drive in the new Kia EV2 at our first drive weekends. It's your chance to be one of the first to test drive the Kia EV2 with its innovative technology and elegant eye-catching design. It's small in size, but big in personality. Discover what driving electric really means. Search First Drive Weekends to reserve your place today.
Kia, movement that inspires.
At AJ Bell, we believe investing is for everyone, even people who know nothing about investing. Like Keith, who thought dividends were a boy band. Jessica, who thought compound interest was a prison dating app. And Sue thought FTSE 100 was a bit of under-the-table fun, which surprised her accountant.
Oh, no.
If we can make investing feel good for them, it's no wonder which have recommended us 7 years running. AJ Bell, feel good investing. The value of your investments can go up or down.
Got an unquenchable thirst for sport? Get up to speed with the day's biggest sports stories with the Talksport hit. Crammed full of the latest team news, big match previews, and discussing the day's hottest topics.
An improvement week in, week out.
Plus, get all the latest results and full fan reaction to the biggest events in world sport.
It's a wonderful goal!
Satisfy your thirst for sports news with the Talksport hit. Subscribe now on Acast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's a frenzied Friday night of frontline football on the Talksport network. Wolves face Liverpool in the FA Cup on Talksport, while Preston go head-to-head with Oxford in the Championship on Talksport 2. Both games get underway from 8. It's a Friday night full to the brim with first-rate football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Talksport Podcast League. Outspoken with White and Jordan.
The best of White and Jordan is now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
So you've got a perfect storm.
From the top flight to the big fight, get opinionated debate that's always on the ball.
Time to hire somebody who can win.
And on the money.
This is a long way from a done deal.
Outrageous, outstanding, outspoken.
It's hard to say that, but it's the truth.
Out now.
Listen or download for free on the Talksport app or from your favourite podcast portal.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
It is EFL Live, Tuesday evening on Talksport 2. I'm Ian Dante, your match commentator. Darren Ambrose is alongside me. Half-time score here at Portman Road. It is Ipswich Town 0, Hull City 0. Let me run you through the scores elsewhere. They're into the second halves of 3 Premier League games tonight. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Everton 1, Burnley 0. The former Burnley centre-half James Tarkowski with the goal there. And Leeds 0, Sunderland 0. They're about 7 or 8 minutes into their second halves, respectively. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0 is approaching the half hour. So 0-0 here at half-time of the Championship. Half-time in League 1, Barnsley 0, Wickham 0, Exeter 0, Burton 0, and Rotherham 0, Mansfield 0. Half-times in League 2, Bromley 0, Oldham 0, Chesterfield 2, Colchester 0, Grimsby 3, Salford 0, Newport 1, 10-man Tranmere 1, and Walsall 0, Fleetwood 1. National League half-times, Bournemouth 0, York City 1, Boston 1, Woking 2, Hartlepool 0, Sutton 0, Rochdale 1, Brackley 1, Southend 0, Truro 1, Wilston 1, Morecambe 2, and Yeovil 1, Tamworth 0. Half-time in the FA Cup 4th round tie at Vale Park. League 1, Port Vale 0, Championship Bristol City 0. And in the first of 2 EFL Trophy semi-finals, Doncaster 0, Stockport 1 approaching half-time. And we bring you the Luton-Northampton game tomorrow night. More on that in a moment. In the Scottish Premiership, 1 game there tonight. It's reached half-time. Dundee United 1, St Mirren 0. So yes, tomorrow we bring you live semi-final action from the Virtue Trophy. Luton Town against Northampton Town, with a place in the final at Wembley at stake. The Hatters Bosch Jack Wilshere is under increasing pressure from supporters, with the club sitting 10th in League 1 after another disappointing draw this weekend against the bottom side Port Vale. Finlay Cannon from the Oak Road Hatters podcast joined EFL All Access this week with Hugh Wozencroft to give his thoughts on the current situation.
It's really disappointing. It just sort of, I think it shows you where we've got to at this point, because 2 years ago we were in the Premier League, like really making a show or a go of it, and people were looking at us thinking, oh, maybe they might be able to stay up. Probably by this point in that season it was unlikely, but it was a real positive feeling around the club. And now there's almost sort of a numbness towards what's happening from some people, because whilst the Premier League relegation almost felt inevitable at one point, the Championship relegation was completely avoidable, and now we just seem to be in a situation of doing absolutely nothing despite having been in the Premier League 2 years ago.
That I guess is part of the malaise going on at the football club, and that I'm sure is affecting the fan base. Just sticking with the result for a second, was that kind of performance that you saw at the weekend kind of symptomatic of this recent poor run? Are there elements that you can pick out and say you're seeing the same kind of negative things every week?
I mean, I think it's symptomatic of this season, really, where you go from, you think, oh, something might come of it, and then you end up sat there going, oh, well, that was what was the point of that? And I'm sure there was a lot of people thinking, oh, why did I come up all the way up here on my Saturday when I could have done something else? But instead I watched a 1-1 draw with bottom of the league, and an uninspiring 1-1 draw by most people's standards.
What do you make of the job that Jack Wilshere is doing right now? I mean, it would be for most football clubs a really crazy time to change managers, but he seems to have fallen out with the fan base. If the results aren't going well, is it actually a productive situation?
It's difficult to say, really, because I think people want it to work because they like Jack Wilshere as a person. I think he speaks well. He clearly cares about what he's doing, but it just doesn't seem to be clicking at times. There's occasions where it looks decent in a couple of games. Sort of just before Christmas, the run we had with a 4-0 and a 3-0 back-to-back, I think that was really positive. But then it's just become so boring at times in games is one issue, that some of the games have become dull. And away from home, we're just absolutely awful. And I think that's where a lot of people are starting to really get fed up, is just how bad we are away from home, when it feels like we should be really sort of throwing ourselves at the league and getting something from it.
How do you get more then out of this team, in your opinion, and what are your expectations for the rest of the season?
Well, personally, I can't see us getting into the playoffs anymore this season. I think the teams above us have showed that they've got a lot of character to them, and they've got a lot of fight, and at times it feels like we lack any of that. So if we get in those playoff spots, I'll be very, very surprised. Obviously, Automatics are way out of the conversation. They were out of the conversation a long time ago, with Cardiff and Lincoln doing what they're doing. So if we come to the end of the season and we're just sat mid-table, not close to the playoffs, not doing anything else really, I think it would just be so disappointing, and you'll have to start again, all over again, which seems like the thing we've done for the last, well, in the summer just gone, and then the January window as well. The problem is more than Jack Wilshere and more than the players we've got. It's the club as a whole. We should have learned our lessons when we got relegated into League One, but we seem to be making all the same failures with the recruitment, with injuries, and just a lack of accountability.
That's Finlay Cannon, who's the host of the Oak Road Hatters podcast, explaining the situation at Luton Town. And the most damning thing I heard in that interview there, Darren Ambrose, was when he said how boring it was. You could use really strong words about how badly a team is playing, but if you say they're boring you, oh boy.
I know, boring, dull. I think he used another word saying dull. That wasn't a nice listen. If you're Jack Wilshere, it's not going to be a nice listen. A good friend of mine, a big Luton fan, he echoes that as well. He says the same thing, which is unfortunate. Hopefully it clicks for him sooner rather than later.
Well, maybe it'll click tomorrow night and get Luton to Wembley, because Luton Town against Northampton Town in the Virtue Trophy semi-final will be a 7:30 kickoff here on Talksport 2. Tyler Morris and former Spurs midfielder Kevin Watson will be your commentary team. And a reminder, if you missed EFL All Access, that show with Hugh Woozencroft, from which that interview was taken, Walsall winger Uncle Albert Adoma was his co-host. You can listen to that show on the EFL All Access feed on the TalkSport app, or you can find it wherever you get your podcast. Just search EFL All Access. And there's going to be a change at the start of the second half of Hull City, and it's no great surprise, Darren Ambrose, that the top scorer for the Tigers, Ollie McBurney, is being introduced here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was more of a surprise that he wasn't starting, in my opinion. And I think maybe this is an admission from Jukiewicz that he can see them going on to win this. So he needs his top striker on the pitch to do so.
Well, I guess you could argue that they've laid the platform by getting to half-time with no goals in this game. So McBurney is going to come on for Joe Gelhardt at the start of this second half. So what that means is that I imagine Miller will just drop that little bit deeper, and McBurney will go through the middle, as you would expect. And the Hull fans really have taken to Ollie McBurney. Likes a bit of housery now and again, doesn't he?
He does, and look, they're going to take to him for many reasons, that being one of them. And he's a goal scorer. He's their top scorer. He's their main forward now. And when an opportunity arises, he normally takes it. No changes yet for Ipswich, which doesn't surprise me. He's normally an hour man, Kieran McKenna, isn't he? So we'll be looking down in the next 10-15 minutes to see who might be coming on.
Indeed. So we wait for the referee to get us back underway. Ipswich in their blue shirts and socks and white shorts, kicking towards the Bobby Robson stand towards our left. We're sat in this brilliant commentary position in the main stand with the Alf Ramsey stand to our right. That's the end that Hull, in their first choice colours of the amber and black, are attacking in this second half. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute. In fact, I'll do that now, as it's screwed out of play by Pandor, the goalkeeper for Hull City. Walton in goal for Ipswich. Furlong, O'Shea, Kipper and Greaves, Matasiwa and Taylor, Egerly, Nunez, Clark and Hurst. And now for Hull, who already have had to make one change in the first half, with Famewo coming on for the injured Coyle. Panda in goal, Hughes, Egan, McNair, Famewo, Crooks, Slater, Drame, Kumas, Miller and McBurney. As Everton go 2-0 up on Burnley in the Premier League with an hour gone there at Hill Dickinson. A rare home win beckons for David Moyes. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall gets the second goal for Everton, but no goals anywhere else in the Premier League so far tonight. And there'll be about, I would say, 35 minutes in or so at Molineux. Here comes Liam Miller down the left-hand side of the area for Hull, trying to pull it across for McBurney. It's diverted behind. Corner kick as Hull get their tails up at the start of the second half and force the corner at the Sir Alf Ramsey stand away to our right. 0-0.
Yeah, poor play. Jack Taylor losing it in a dangerous position right in his defensive third. Liam Miller trying to capitalise on it, looking for Ollie McBurney. Was just defended in the end. Darroche.
So McNair has got the ball back from the ball boy and spots it down in that corner where the Cobbold stand meets the Sir Alf Ramsey, right next to where the travelling Hull contingent are looking down from the top tier of that Cobbold stand. Right-footed in-swinger from McNair, flicked away at the near post, trying to find a teammate, but instead it's brought away by Sindra Eggerly for Ipswich. Gets up to the halfway line. He's got options right and left. Goes right for Hurst. Hurst just slows up a little as he gets possession of the ball. Tries to clip it into the area, but it was blocked by Regan Slater, and Slater helps to get it clear for Hull. And now Crooks takes the ball up to the halfway line. Plays the ball through for Kumas, who's got Kipre isolated. Kumas tries to wriggle past Kipre to the edge of the D. Toe pokes it through, looking for McBurney. Almost made its way through to the substitute, but Ipswich win it back. Then tucked out left from Greaves to Jack Clark as St Mirren equalise at Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership early in the second half there. Jake Young for the Buddies. 0-0 here at Portman Road. A couple of minutes gone in the second half. And you can sense, Darren Ambrose, there's a bit more tempo about this game already after the restart.
Yeah, not just from Ipswich either, from Hull City as well. And they're playing a high press, as Ipswich did in the first half. They're doing it to Ipswich now, winning it back high up the pitch. Liam Miller and Kumas using their pace. Almost slotted it through to Ollie McBurney, who just come on, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the man. Ollie McBurney with 13 championship goals to his name this season. A fair few assists as well, in fairness to Ollie McBurney, who we all remember at Swansea City coming through with that very strong season he had 2018-19, and then Sheffield United purloined his services. So he's the half-time substitute on for Gelhardt. Ipswich play the ball downfield, and Nunez tried to convince the referee that he'd been fouled by McNair at the edge of the area, but there was a right old wag of the finger from Lewis Smith at the Norwich City midfielder saying, no, that's play on, sir.
Oh, it's a lovely touch from Nunez, wasn't it? He just lost his foot in at the last point. It wasn't a foul. Paddy McNair didn't do nothing wrong. Brought it out the air fantastically from a long pass from Cedric Kipre, who just fell over at the vital moment.
So the throw in for Hull City from the left-hand side gets up to the halfway line, but Ipswich win it back. 4 minutes gone in the second half. Lovely turn from Jack Clark in the centre of the whole half. Running up to the edge of the area. Wriggles his way into space, and then Paddy McNair takes it off his toe just as he was threatening to get in front of goal. Now McNair trying to release Miller down the left-hand side, but in fairness to Darnell Furlong, read the danger, kept pace with Miller and knocked it back to Christian Walton. 0-0.
Yeah, good defending, Darnell Furlong, as you said. Read the danger with his pace, Liam Miller, but out on the other end, I think Jack Clark's just got to shoot. People just having one too many touches, trying to dribble through the whole line, just hit the shot from 20 yards. Go for it and see what can happen.
I was waiting for it, and it never quite happened. It's back with Pandur, the Hull City goalkeeper. Floats it out to the left-hand side, looking for Miller. Furlong wins the header. Nunez plays a neat 1-2 with Eggerly, plays it into the centre circle for Jack Taylor. Taylor looks up, plays it a short forward pass to Jack Clark. Nunez again, up to the edge of the area, tries to drive, always rising over the bar. And a goal kick given to Hull City. But a bit more intent from both sides at the start of the second half, looking to gain the advantage in this vitally important Championship clash, 4th against 5th. It's 0-0, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, but that last Marcelino Nunez this time, similar to position to what Jack Clark was a couple of minutes ago, decides to hit the shot. I don't mind that at all. Just overdone it, didn't he? Put it in the Sir Bobby Robson stand, put it high and wide, but just hit the shot. That's what I love to see.
Goal kick from Pandor. Actually goes out of play for a whole throw. They were weighing it at the Bobby Robson stand then, because he got the clearance all wrong, the Hull keeper, but Eggerly couldn't keep it in play himself on the far touchline. So Hull get a throw. For Maywo, on as a first half substitute for the stricken Louis Coyle, who was captain of Hull at the start of the night. Tries to find McBurney, who does in the end pick it up and play it down the left-hand side for Miller. Only Kumas in the box. Miller sent in a first-time ball along the deck, but it's comfortably intercepted by O'Shea. And then Eggerly wriggles away from a challenge of Liam Miller. Matusiwa immediately has Slater at his back, but he does well to turn it around the corner. And a lovely touch in field from Nunez to set Taylor away. Taylor up to halfway, spreads play out to this near side, the Ipswich left, and Jack Clark faced up by Drammer. Greaves gives it back down the left-hand side, but Clark was just caught on his heels there, and Greaves didn't see it, and in the end goes out of play off Jack Clark for a Hull City throw in their right back position, 0-0.
Yeah, and Jack Clark's just telling Greaves that you had more time than you thought to try to turn and switch play or get a cross in. Instead he opted to try to find it, a little 1-2 with Clark, who didn't read the pass, and as you said, went off him, and frustratingly for him, went out for a Hull City throw.
Drammer with the throw, flicked on by McBurney, but O'Shea's got all the time to roll it back to his keeper. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability, price may vary.
We've seen a drone has just come down quite close to the pitch, actually, and the referee, Lewis Smith, has halted play.
Yeah, I've only remembered this happening once before in a Euro qualifier, and it was a very contentious drone. I think it was Albania, Serbia, and boy oh boy did it cause some problems.
Yeah, you know what, it's been hovering for the last couple of minutes, I've been seeing it, but it did actually come quite close to the pitch, so I don't think the telly uses drones, do they?
No. Well,
so someone's having a free view of the game?
Yeah, so that's drone has disappeared from just hovering over the pitch. Here come Ipswich, hovering up to the edge of the area. Clark finds Greaves against his old club, plays the ball into Taylor, shot on the turn, blocked out of play by Egan. Throw to Ipswich, left-hand side. Crowd getting warmed up by this, 0-0.
Yeah, lovely touch. Jack Taylor in the box. Good block in the end from Egan. As you said, it's livening up now.
Yeovil Town 2, Tamworth 0 in the National League. And Southend equalise against the bottom side Truro. That's 1-1 at Roots Hall. Charlie Kendall and Boreham Wood have equalised against the leaders York City. Lewis Richardson early in the second half. Ipswich in possession with Dara O'Shea. Long ball down the left-hand side. Greaves showing great pace. He'll get there right by the corner flag. But then Drammer sticks a foot in. Puts it out of play for another throw to Ipswich Town. They're trying to turn the screw here, the hosts. 0-0, 53 gone.
Yeah, they are. The crowd are starting to turn the screw as well. They want to see a goal. They want to see something at the moment, and they're pushing.
Jukirevich wants to push the players out. He's beckoning for them to get. They're 5 yards too deep, I think, as he's looking at it. But the ball into the box from Ipswich is comfortable for the goalkeeper, Ivor Pandor, to hold on to. He clears downfield. McBurney goes up with Kipre, gets away from both of them, and will drop on this right-hand side for Lewis Kumas. Tries to flick it away from Greaves. Goes out of play for a Hull City throw. Down the right-hand side, nearest to us, with Hull attacking the Sir Alf Ramsey stand end to our right in this second half. On your home with the EFL, Talksport 2, where it's all about the EFL trophy with us tomorrow night from 7:15. Luton Town against Northampton Town. And at the moment, there's Stockport that they'll be playing at Wembley, because Stockport are still 1-0 up. That's a half-time score now at Doncaster in the other semi-final. Here's Dara O'Shea coming forward and tries a drive that was on target, but Pandor didn't have to move and clutched hold of it gratefully. 0-0 with 10 minutes gone now after the restart.
Yeah, it's better. Dara O'Shea showing Jack Clark, Jack Taylor how you do it. Drive through the midfield and hit your shot. Good save in the end. Comfortable.
Flick on by McBurney. Was looking for Kumas down the whole right, but it was well dealt with by Greaves. Back in a defensive shape for Ipswich Town. Kipre plays a short pass into Taylor. Now Matusiwa, centre of his own half, the Ipswich number 5. Rolls it up to Nunez, but a heavy touch means he has to run back 7 or 8 yards to retrieve the ball. Matusiwa again in the centre circle. Options right and left. Goes short to his left, and Jack Clark Clark now trying to go through the gears as he gets up to the edge of the area. Flicks it out left for Greaves. First time cross from Greaves, cleared on the half volley. Out of danger by John Egan. This will break for McBurney, who just gets away from Matasiwa, and he's released Liam Miller, who's scampering down the Hull City left-hand side. McBurney going into the box, Kumas in there as well, but Miller going on the outside of Furlong and tries a left-footed drive that skims over the roof of the net, and it's a goal kick to Ipswich Town as Hull show a bit of intent going forward, 0-0.
Yeah, probably best chance of the half, that, and Ollie McBurney with great forward play, turns, strength, plays a lovely ball to Liam Miller, and then Liam Miller done the rest, cuts outside, uses left foot, just high and wide again.
Double change for Ipswich Town, and Wes Burns and Leif Davis are being brought on, and it's Sindra Eggerly that's making way for the Welshman Wes Burns, and I'm assuming it's Greaves for Davis as a like-for-like switch. Indeed it is. Greaves comes off against his former club. Leif Davis, as I mentioned before, the assist king when Ipswich won promotion to the Premier League 2 seasons ago. Didn't have a great time of it in the Premier League, hasn't recreated the Championship stats this season yet, but maybe there's space that he can exploit in this Hull City system as we now approach the hour mark on Talksport 2. As you say, Darren Ambrose, he waits for the hour mark, doesn't he? 57 gone.
Yeah, he does like the substitution on the now, and the good substitutions as well. Different options for Ipswich and different threats for the whole city. Wes Burns with his pace, and Leif Davies, we see, didn't we? Jacob Greaves getting a bit of joy down the left-hand side, and I think he's going to try and utilise that.
I think Sunderland had the ball in the net against Leeds, but I think it's been ruled out. Oh no, it's been scored, a penalty from Habib Diarra. Leeds 0, Sunderland 1 on 70 minutes. 0-0 half-time at Molineux. Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. Picking up points, Hull. Wolves rather.
Yeah, they are.
Under Rob Edwards, even though
just
relegation.
Too late now.
Yeah, it feels almost a racing certainty. But they're giving a decent account of themselves just lately. And they will play each other again in the FA Cup, a game you can hear as we start the weekend of FA Cup action on Friday night. 8 o'clock on TalkSport, Wolves-Liverpool in the 5th round. At the same time here on TalkSport 2, we'll bring you an all-championship encounter in the 2nd tier. Preston against Oxford. Here's Jack Clark for Ipswich at 0-0 here. Finding Leif Davis, Kenny, with the left-hand side, the ball's overhit, and it's been given as a Hull throw. And all the locals are convinced that came off a Hull player last of all. Goal in League One, first one of the night in League One tonight. Wickham lead at Barnsley through Aaron Morley. Back-to-back wins for Wickham, just outside the playoffs. And Wealdstone 1, Morecambe 3. Morecambe 22nd in the table, 1 win in 13, but Jack Nolan has put them 3-1 up at Wealdstone. Oh, Drammer and Clark collide as they try and clear. It's a foul by Drammer. Tried to kick the ball away, but he kicked through Clark, didn't he, Darren Ambrose, to get to the ball. So it's an Ipswich free kick right at the left-hand corner of the penalty area here, 0-0.
Yeah, to be fair, it's brave play from Clark. He knew Drammer was about to volley, and he had to put his leg in the way, and he diverted it to George Hurst, and he took a hefty whack from Drammer. He's fine, he's up.
Yeah, but thankfully again, he's up.
Yeah, he's a dangerous position for this free kick. We got the perfect angle here, Dan.
We have. I'm standing right behind it, or sitting right behind it as I look. A two-man wall protecting Pandura's near post. Marcelino Nunez, I just got a feeling he's going to go for goal here. I think he's going to try and go over the wall and beat Pandura at his near post. Nunez steps up to it right-footed, does go for goal, and it's held on the line by the goalkeeper. Didn't get enough whip on it, I don't think. Marcelino Nunez, 0-0. It stays on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, you called it, didn't you? And you could see from our angle, it was the perfect opportunity to try and outfox Ivo Pandor in the goal, but he just hit it too straight, and a comfortable save once again.
He's that rare animal, Marcelino Nunez, a player that's moved directly between Norwich and Ipswich. There've not been many that have done that down the years.
There's not.
But he's become a bit of a hero here, having made that switch from Norfolk to Suffolk. Here he is again, just over halfway. Ricochets, benefits him. Goes out to the left-hand side for Jack Clark, level with the 18-yard line, running at Drammer. Davis is there too. Good foot in from Drammer, but it has meant the Ipswich win a corner at the Bobby Robson end to our left, 0-0, with an hour gone on TalkSport 2.
Fantastic play from Nunez. Little nutmeg on Charlie Hughes was it, and then played it wide. And Jack Clark wasn't going to wait for Leif Davis. He tried to get him, and it was good defending Drama in the end to give away a corner.
Rochdale 2, Brackley 1. Emmanuel Diersaruve gets a second for Dale to put them back in front at Spotland. Leif Davis with a left-footed out-swinging corner down to our far left-hand side. In it comes then from Davis into the near post, and it was headed away by Famewo. Straight back to Leif Davis, who's got to level with the 18-yard line. Gives it back to Taylor, who looks for Matu Siwa just ahead of the centre circle. Now Nunez picks it up quite deep. Plays the ball into the box. Hurst with a header straight at the goalkeeper. Half a yard either side of Evil Pandal. That would have been interesting, but straight at the keeper, 0-0.
Yeah, it's typical at the moment. That's what we keep saying. Straight at the goalkeeper. Comfortable save. Evil Pandal. Good delivery from Nunez. They win it back again, Ipswich.
They have, and here goes Wes Burns. But Matt Crooks brings him down and gets a yellow card. Slid in. Got man before ball. And Ipswich have a free kick. Dead centre. Well, just to the right of centre maybe. 25 yards out. Nunez again, maybe? 0-0.
You can hear the cries from the crowd behind the goal. Nunez. This is a perfect opportunity for him. We know he's a good set-piece taker.
I think that's Matt Crook's 10th yellow card as well. I think that leads to a 2-game ban as things stand. Torquay 1, Farnborough 1. Is Neil Warnock in charge tonight of Torquay? Sonny Bluelow Everton. What a lovely name. He's equalised for Torquay down there at Plainmoor. And Burton lead at Exeter in League 1. Udoka Godwin Malife with the goal for the Brewers, who've won 2 out of their last 4. So, free kick to Ipswich. 62 minutes gone. Marcelino Nunez surely going to go for goal here. There's a 5-man Hull City wall inside the D. Nunez steps up, right-footed, round the wall and way over the crossbar. Goal kick. Danger averted once again for Hull City, 0-0.
What I will say is that is a massive wall. And to try and go over the top of that, it was always going to be rising. He did go over it, but he didn't get the dip.
Well, there wasn't a draft extruder behind it. He could have gone under it.
Yep.
Could have drilled it Kevin De Bruyne style. Yellow card for Evil Pandal for delaying the goal kick. That gets as big a cheer as if Ipswich had scored that yellow card for the Hull City keeper. And he will eventually clear it right-footed downfield. Over the head of McBurney. O'Shea sends it back towards the halfway line. Slater and Crooks between them with cushion headers. And then shanked out a play by McNair for an Ipswich throw. It is Ipswich that are carrying the greater threat here, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, it is.
But Hull is still very dangerous on the counter.
They were in the first half, and they are this half, especially with McBurney on now. Any opportunity that you get, you probably take it, but it is all Ipswich at the minute.
Clark plays a 1-2, does he, with Matasiwa? Didn't quite come off, but then Miller was blocked off by Nunez and obstructed as he tried to sprint over the halfway line. Free kick for Hull City, but no further punishment for Nunez, who holds his arms out as if to say, what, me? Free kick to Hull.
I'm not sure that's a foul, to be honest. I think he just blindsided him. He didn't realise he was there, Liam Miller. But yeah, he put a little shoulder barge in there. We've got the joy of a replay. He didn't know he was there. I'm not
Didn't
sure.
know he was there, come on.
I'm not sure
that's a free
foul.
kick. Anyway, Darren Ambrose straight down the middle this evening. That's cleared awkwardly by Christian Walton, kept in play on this near side by Davis in his own defensive third.
See, that's the same.
Drama shows great strength to win it back off Matasiwa. And it's laid back for Regan Slater, out to the right wing and Kumas. Drama's stayed down, but he's looking around to see whether the play's advanced. He might get himself back up, indeed he has. And then Charlie Hughes wins a throw-in, about 10 yards from the corner flag, and Drama is back on his feet. Boston 2, Woking 2 in the National League. Boston level through Maguire. And York have had a man sent off. Josh Stones has been sent off. There's still 1-1 at Boreham Wood, so the leader's down to 10. So a throw-in for Hull City, but they're going to make a double change. Before that, the former Rangers and Sheffield United man John Lundstrom is going to be brought on, and Matt Crooks, who admittedly is only just back from 7 weeks out, Darren Ambrose, with injury, is making way.
Yeah, and he's just received a yellow card as well, didn't he? So maybe that is just Jukirovic looking after him as well. I think he said it's his 10th, though. He's probably going to miss a couple of games, but he looks frustrated coming off.
And Liam Miller, who's been all pace Down the left-hand side, makes way for a player you've been mentioning quite a lot in dispatches tonight, Darren Ambrose, Carl Joseph.
Yeah, I think what are we on? 65 minutes gone now, and he's already got Ollie McBurney on there. Now he's bringing the Kyle Joseph on as well, the third top goal scorer this season.
So Joseph will have a quarter of the game to show what he can do. Coming on for the peroxide-haired Liam Miller.
No, he's not happy, Liam Miller, down there in the dugout.
No, he's not. Anis Mehmeti being ready as well for Ipswich as we speak. Hartlepool 0, Sutton United 1 in the National League. Hull City have got possession inside the Ipswich defensive third. Tight to this near touchline. Played down the flank and kept in play by Slater, who fires a crossing. And that was well defended at the near post by Cedric Kipre. Drops out of play for a Hull throw, 0-0.
There's a lovely delivery into the box. Regan Slater on the half volley. He had to watch it all the way, Cedric Kipre, and he did so.
Here's Drammett playing the ball back to Paddy McNair, one-time Manchester United player. Now Hughes lofts it up to the right-hand corner of the box where Joseph tried to get involved. It almost broke for Lundstrom, but the other number 5 out there, Matasiwa, got his foot on the ball and got it half clear. Jack Clark down the left-hand side, plays it in field to Hurst, who's got his back to goal, turns neatly away from Egan. Out to Jack Clark, left-hand side, will just keep it in play, but that allows the substitute Carl Joseph just on to get a foot in and put it out of play for an Ipswich throw, level with the 18-yard line as they attack the Sir Bobby Robson stand. But before they take the throw, Mehmeti's going to be brought on, and he's going to be coming on for Jack Taylor. So this is an attacking change from Kieran McKenna here, Darren Ambrose, at 0-0.
Yeah, I like Alex Mehmeti as well. Every time I've seen him, he's neat, he's tidy. Again, another one I was shocked weren't starting for Ipswich, to be honest, and he's been brought on definitely to try and make something happen. I think they'll drop Marcelino Nunes a little bit deeper with Matasiwa, and he'll be sitting in the number 10.
So lots of cards being played from respective decks to try and get the advantage they desire, both Kieran McKenna and Sergei Kirovic. Midway point of the second half on Talksport 2, still anybody's game here. Ipswich Town 0, Hull City 0. Ipswich have been the team with the lion's share of the ball. And they've had a couple of on-target efforts in this second half, which have been straight at the goalkeeper. Here's Jack Clark, just drifting in field from this near left-hand touchline. Matasiwa under pressure from Kumas, manages to guide it back to O'Shea. Now out to the right wing, and Wes Burns not really had a chance to stretch his legs down that right-hand side, and he's come to be dispossessed by Kumas, who then gives it away to Matasiwa. Furlong infield for Matasiwa, and then Furlong again finds O'Shea in a bit of space. Nunez does indeed come short, playing a bit deeper now as Darren Ambrose rightly predicted. Shovels it out to Leif Davis on this near side. The Ipswich left. Clark receives it, left-hand corner of the box, plays it down the left-hand side of the area for Nunez, who chips it in at the near post. Too close to the goalkeeper guarding that near post, and Pandor gratefully clutches hold of it. 0-0.
Yeah, good play again. Davis to Clark. Clark turns, sees the run of Marcelino Nunes, and it was good defending from John Egan there. Just didn't allow him to get the cutback. Ended up comfortably in Panda's arms.
Hurst on halfway, always caught there by John Egan, who's got himself a yellow card. Went through the player to try and get to the ball, right under the referee's nose. Free kick to Ipswich Town. 0-0 it stays, and with just over 20 minutes to go. And the attendance, 26,103 here tonight at Portman Road. Nunez receives the free kick short, sends it back to O'Shea in the centre circle for Ipswich. O'Shea again. Matasi was just come short to the halfway line, but he was being watched all the way by Slater. Now Nunez gets it just over halfway. Firm pass out to Wes Burns on the right wing area. Mehmeti's gone ahead of him, but it's come off Lundstrom and gone out of play for a Ipswich throw. Now Furlong might well launch this one into the box, but there's not much room. The thing with that touchline on that far side in front of the Cobalt stand, there's not much of a run-up you can get.
No, you're right. You're right. They haven't utilised that, have they, at the moment, this long throw that Furlong's got.
Exeter equalise at home to Burton Albion. The veteran Josh McGuinness gets the Grecians level. 1-1 at St James Park. 0-0 here at Portman Road. Mehmeti jiggling his way into the area. And he's dispossessed at the last, but it comes out to Leif Davis. Tees at Matosiwa. Oh, what a goal! Matosiwa from the edge of the area. What a way to break the deadlock in this crucial game. And wouldn't you know it, it's Azor Matosiwa who gets the goal for Ipswich Town. Magnificent hit for his first Ipswich Town goal. And what a time to get it when Ipswich needed a goal to put pressure on those around them. Azor Matosiwa delivers with a beauty. Ipswich 1, Hull City 0.
Wow, Dance, what a goal. What have we been saying all game? Put your foot through it. Get on the edge of the box, hit a shot. Anis Mehmeti goes down in the penalty box. It wasn't a penalty. Leif Davis recycles play. Tees one up. He's 20 yards out. Centre of the goal. What a strike this is. Look at the power in that strike. Right in the top corner. Comes off the bottom of the crossbar and goes in. No chance for Ivor Pandor. Nowhere near it. What a goal. Matosiwa. Brilliant.
In his 35th appearance, he gets his first goal and may not score a more crucial one for Ipswich all season. Hull City respond. They're bringing on Amir Hadzimetovic, and he's going to be coming on for John Egan, so midfielder for defender. I guess that requires a response from Sergei Akirovic. Rochdale 3, Brackley 1. So the leaders are only drawing York City, and Rochdale comfortably ahead at Spotland home to Brackley. Chesterfield 3-0 upon Colchester in League 2. But importantly here on Talksport 2, with 18 minutes to go, finally the deadlock is broken, and it took something truly special to do it.
What a goal
from Azor Matosiwa.
Honestly, I think I let out a little scream as it went in. It was amazing. What a strike. Unlikely goal scorer as well, Dance.
Well, what a way to get your first goal for your club you've been with since the start of the season. Now here's George Hurst. Ipswich won it back. Rolled into Mehmeti. Plays it across the face. Goal. Clark blocked on the line. Brilliant save. Incredible save by Pandor. Clark was 2 yards out. Just tried to feed it home, and Pandor got something on it. Clark again. Breaks at the edge of the area, and Slater puts a foot in to win it back, and Hull survive. That should have been 2-0, but credit the brilliant goalkeeping of Ivor Pandor.
How's that not gone in? How has it not gone in? George Hurst to Wes Byrne. Feeds. Says go and get a tap in. Left foot. Great save. Comes back to him, Dance. He's hit the post from a yard. He's hit the post. Probably from half a yard at an angle. He cannot believe it, Jack Clark. No one can. What a save, what a move, what a save, what football all round.
Hull City still in the game. It's only 1-0 to Ipswich. Talksport 2 in the EFL. Incredible drama. And now the Ipswich fans full of song. Oh, Davis has hurt himself as he brought that ball out the sky. Oh no, he seems to be all right, but he just didn't want to sprint after it. But just felt a little twinge there, the Ipswich left back. Remember, he's not long on as a substitute. Two Ipswich players go for the same ball, Matosiwa and O'Shea. Now Matosiwa's gone down in a heat with a Hull player, and that's been given as a free kick. Yeah, the Ipswich goal scorer.
Sorry, Dance, that didn't look nice with Leif Davis. I've seen those happen before, and it's normally their Achilles, because no one near him, and he turned around as if someone had done something to the back of his heel. He seems to be moving okay, as you said. Maybe just a little tweak there to keep an eye on that.
Left-hand side, Hull coming forward. Another double change being readied by Kieran McKenna. Dan Neal and Ivan Azon are going to be ready to come on. Sunderland loan lead, Dan Neal and Azon on loan from Italian football. Scored at the weekend and benched tonight. Hull City coming forward, and they win a corner at the Sir Alf Ramsey stand end to our right. What pressure can the Tigers apply at this point? They're 1-0 down with a quarter of an hour to go on Talksport 2.
Yeah, we could be seeing maybe Nunez coming off. Dan Neal shoring it up. Watched him against Watford. I thought he was fantastic. And even Azon probably for George Hurst.
Let's see if the soothsayer Darren Ambrosie's right. Corner kick for Hull City, swung into the near post. Lundstrom nearly got a flick on. Clark heads it clear, comes out to Drammett. 30 yards from goal, swings the ball out to the left-hand side. Ball's in the area, there's plenty forward in Hull shirts, but it breaks for Dara O'Shea. You can just keep the ball away from Lundstrom and then fire it downfield. Nobody there in a blue shirt. So Pandur comes all the way out to near the halfway line to retrieve it. Ipswich 1, Hull 0 on Talksport 2. Ball stays in play on that far side with Hadzimetovic. Now Kumas. He's going to have a run at Furlong, gets to the dead ball line, clips it across the face of goal. McBurney can't quite reach it. Clark volleys it away, only as far as Lundstrom, but a heavy touch allows Nunez to give it to John Smith's. Have it downfield.
That'd have hit the drone if it was still there.
It would have done. No quarter Arsenal given from that clearance from Nunez. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. Fees applied to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. And Darren Ambrose is dead right about Marcelino Nunez having...
Oh, he's played really well, by the way.
Kicked it well. Listen to the ovation wherever and however you listen to Talksport 2 that Nunez is getting as he comes off the pitch here at Portman Road. Another real shift put in by him, the South American. He'll make way for a player who I saw in a Virtue Trophy game a few years ago for Sunderland at Lincoln, and he reminded me of a young Michael Carrick, and he was part of the Sunderland team that won promotion but has had very little chance of a look in at the Stadium of Light this season. And it's a straight swap up front as well, Darren. George Hurst for Ivan Azon. You don't get a prize for getting both of those right.
I've been ringing down. Make the changes. He'll work hard, Azon up front. George Hurst did. Worked hard for his team tirelessly. Had a couple of chances. But couldn't get his third goal in third match.
So back it goes to Hull City, who trail by a goal to nil here to Ipswich Town, who, as it stands, are going to go up to third, above Millwall in the table, a point clear and only 3 points behind Middlesbrough, with that one game in hand, which they've yet to play at Portsmouth. And don't forget, Ipswich and Middlesbrough play each other towards the end of April. I think it's the 18th of April. Boy, oh boy, can you imagine how much might be riding on that game by the time that they meet here at Portman Road. It's Saturday the 18th of April. Back it goes to Christian Walton, the Ipswich keeper. Clears first time left-footed up to the halfway line. Lundstrom wins the header against Azon. McBurney coming quite deep, picks it up at the fired pass infield from Famewo, looking for Lewis Kumas, evades the Liverpool loanee, and it's back with Ipswich Town. 1-0 they lead, 12 minutes to play on Talksport 2. Ooh. Through ball, Azon is going to get onto it, but out comes Pandur to the edge of the area. There was a slip by Charlie Hughes, and it allowed Azon to run in on goal, but the starting position for Ivor Pandur there, Darren Ambrose, was just what Hull City needed at that moment.
Yeah, he's arguably been their best player, Hull City, today. Had no chance for the goal, and he's done really well whenever he's called upon, including that. Starting position was fantastic.
Hull now clear it. Hadzimetovic plays a long ball downfield. Kumas trying to get goal side of Furlong, but great control from Darnell Furlong. Brilliant. Really stuck to his task there and got it back to his goalkeeper, because just for a fleeting moment there he looked second favourite. Yeah,
he done really well. Showed strength, desire to stay, firstly to stay with Lewis Kumas, and then to defend that really well.
1-0 to Ipswich. Hull play a long ball downfield, looking for the run of Carl Joseph, but it drifts out of play on this near side. So we're edging towards 10 minutes to go, Darren Ambrose.
And Jukirovic is showing signs of frustration in the dugout just below us. The technical area, pacing back and forward. Wants to see more from his team.
Well, let's not forget, he's not used to seeing his team getting beaten on the road. He's more used to seeing them win. 9 wins for Hull City and only 5 defeats. Here's Hadzimetovic trying to get the better of Matasiwa at the edge of the area. Almost toe-poked it through for Kumas. One back by Slater. 20 yards from goal. Hadzimetovic sends it out to the right wing, and Joseph drives the ball along the deck into the area. Kipre defends at his near post. Clark almost gets dispossessed inside his own box, and then it's The clearance ricochets against Lundstrom, and that nearly broke for Hull City inside the area. Fired back in field by Charlie Hughes. Ipswich can only repel to a degree. It's back with the Hull City shirts on halfway, and Akinfenmewo tucks it back for Lundstrom. The Ipswich fans raise their voices to try and rouse their team to see this home for the 3 precious points they're currently earning to make it 3 wins in a row for Ipswich. But there's time left for Hull to do something about that. And that was a nervy moment at the back for Jack Clark.
He seemed the calmest player there, didn't he, Jack Clark? Tried to dribble it out of his own box.
McBurney making a nuisance of himself. Dispossesses Kipre. Goes down right outside the area. Down the right-hand side of the box. It's a free kick. Yellow card for Cedric Kipre. And to be honest, McBurney looked second favourite in that instance, but somehow he got himself goal side of Kipre and was getting towards the area, but he was just clipped from behind by Cedric Kipre.
He was trying his hardest, Ollie McBurney, to fall into the box, wasn't he? We've seen it recently. He was trying there, just couldn't quite make it. It's a yard outside.
Boreham Wood 2, York City 1. The National League leaders now behind with 10 men. Cameron Cox for Boreham Wood, who themselves at 4th in the table. So, Hadzimetovic with this free kick for Hull City down the right-hand side of the penalty area. 8 minutes to go. Plenty of players jostling for position at the far post. It's played along the deck into the near post. He tried to catch out the goalkeeper, Walton, at his near post in Hadzimetovic, and nearly did. But Walton holds on. 1-0 Ipswich.
Yeah, that was a clever free kick. If he'd have caught Walton out there, he would have been disappointed. He matched it.
Azon with a fairly aimless ball. Mehmeti, rather, I beg your pardon, with an aimless ball over halfway. Drame plenty of time to bring it down out the sky. And then it's lost by Dan Neal on halfway. Slater just plays it backwards to square to Hughes. Good ball into the centre circle for Lundstrom, who shovels it out to Kumas on the Hull City left. He's going to have a run at Burns. Gets to the edge of the area, puts it across the face, a goal over the head of McBurney and claimed by Christian Walton. Another Hull City break comes to nothing. Ipswich not exactly hanging on here, but they are affording Hull City 1 or 2 opportunities. But Ipswich are 1-0 up with 7 to go.
And that's credit to Hull. They've upped the tempo, haven't they?
And they have it again. Bit ramshackle from Ipswich as they came forward that time. And it's McNair tucking it out to Famewo. Hull playing 4 at the back, incidentally, since they made that change earlier in the half to take off Egan. So you've got Hughes and McNair as centre halves, Famewo and Drama as fullbacks. Again, Ipswich fans just trying to raise their team to see them over the line. Just over 6 minutes to go, plus added time on Talksport 2. You're home with the EFL. Lundstrom guides it down for Hull City to the left back for Maywo, who chips it up to halfway, looking for McBurney. Well defended by O'Shea. Ball drops in the centre of the whole half, and Lundstrom let it get away from him, but Hughes quickly onto it. What a chest control from Ollie McBurney.
Brilliant.
As the ball was fired up to him, and Kumas is on his bike again down the left-hand side for the visitors, up against Furlong. About 10 yards from the dead ball line. Tries to go inside 2 players. Slater lays it back to Kumas. First time shot blocked at source. And Azon will pick up the loose ball midway point of his own half. But then he's dispossessed by Hadzimetovic. Taken off his toe down the Hull City left. Now he's looking for the run of Famewo, but Hadzimetovic has overhit the pass. And it's out of play for a throw. 84.5 minutes gone.
If you're Hull City, you want to continue this. Running out of time, but if you're Ipswich, you've just got to calm it down.
That chest control from Ollie McBurney, but it was fired up to him by Charlie Hughes. Just killed it stone dead. Brought it under control. You can see what the Hull City fans have taken to him as quickly as they have. It's not just about the goals, it's about the forward play.
Composure he had there.
No, he's just shown the other side of his game there, just shoving Darnell Furlong to the deck. So that's a free kick for Ipswich Town with 5 minutes to go, plus added time here at Portman Road. Both managers at the edge of their technical area. Kieran McKenna pacing up and down like a caged tiger. Jukirovic holding his arms out at his players. I think he wants them to be compressing the space a little bit more, or is it he's complaining about the time it's taking for Christian Walton to spot down this free kick. And Jurkovic has got a point, because his goalkeeper was booked for time wasting, and he's asking the question why the opposite number hasn't had the same treatment.
Yeah, he's right.
Free kick downfield, headed down by McNair for Maywo. Good skill on that far touchline, keeps it away from two Ipswich Town shirts that were around him. And now here's Cody Drammer at the right-hand edge of his own penalty area. Into Kyle Joseph. He loses possession. Jack Clark wins it back. Socks rolled down towards his ankles. Jack Grealish style. He's even got the Alice band on in the old Jack Grealish envelope. Back it goes to the goalkeeper.
I mean, he can't have shin pads on there, can he?
They're probably about the size of 10p pieces if he does. Given away by Ipswich. And it's sent into the box looking for McBurney. Can he keep it in play at the dead ball line? He can't. It was an early ball played in by Lundstrom, but it just drifted away from Ollie McBurney, and Ipswich have a goal kick. In the Premier League, it's finished Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Everton have got a home win. Wow. 2-0, they beat Burnley. And Sunderland are still 1-0 up at Leeds, and they're into 12 minutes of added time at Ellen Road. Really? Meanwhile, with an hour gone at Molineux, it's still Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. More Premier League action tomorrow night. 5 Premier League games, and Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds from 7 on Talksport, including Manchester City against Nottingham Forest and Brighton against Arsenal. Meantime, here on Talksport 2, we'll bring you the Virtue Trophy semi-final between Luton Town and Northampton Town. In the semi-final that's going on right now, it's still Doncaster 0, Stockport County 1. Dundee United 2-1 up at St Mirren in Scotland. And Ipswich have a free kick with 3 minutes to go, just inside the Hull City half of the field. Oh, they've given it away again. They're getting nervous, Ipswich, aren't they? Darren Ambrose.
They're hanging on, Dance. They really are. At the moment, it's all Hull City. Dan Neil guilty of a couple of times giving it away needlessly.
I bigged him up too much before he came on. It's back with Christian Walton. Ipswich next game is here against Leicester City. And it's with us on Talksport 2 live Saturday afternoon. I'll be back here. I might as well leave my equipment here. I'll be back here with Perry Groves in tow Saturday afternoon on 3 o'clock kickoff from the Championship. And of course, we'll bring you a Saturday lunchtime game as well. Hull against Millwall. So we'll see Hull as well in action. We'll bring you that game from the MKM against Millwall. Another great game in prospect between two sides in the top 5. Ball's won back by Mehmeti. But then he loses out again. McBurney trying to win it on halfway. Dan Neil. Again, a loose ball from him. McBurney picks it up inside his own half. He was fouled as he tried to release the ball. Free kick given to Hull City. 90 seconds of normal time to play, plus whatever referee Lewis Smith wants to add on for stoppages. And this is just going to be sent. This is going to be a Hail Mary sent downfield by Lundstrom for Hull City. Inside his own half, about 5 yards inside it. Drifts it out to the right-hand side, looking for Carl Joseph. Wins the header in field. McBurney nods it down the right-hand side of the box. It might just make it to McNair. Across comes Kipre and hits it against McNair and wins a goal kick for Ipswich that gets a tumultuous round of applause from 3 sections of Portman Road. Goal kick, 1-0.
Brilliant defending. Ollie McBurney with a lovely headed through ball. And he had to get it right because he's in the box. Up against Paddy McNair, but he tackles him, kicks it off McNair for the goal kick.
Sunderland have beaten Leeds by 1-0 at Ellen Road.
Still in it, Leeds, still in it.
They are still in it. And we'll see how other teams around them get on for the rest of the week. West Ham most notably, and Nottingham Forest with the games that they've got to play in the Premier League. So tomorrow night you've got Villa, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, Fulham, West Ham, Man City against Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle, Manchester United, Spurs against Crystal Palace. Ouch. Thursday night. Standalone Premier League game on Thursday. Heading towards added time here at Portman Road. Ipswich 1, Hull City 0 on Talksport 2. Hadzimetovic steers the ball out to the Hull City left and Akin for Maywo. Now Lewis Kumas level with the 18-yard line. We're into 5 minutes of added time. Ipswich head away the cross. Lundstrom won't beat Jack Clark for pace. Clark is away. He's got Azon going like an express train through the middle. But instead he finds Wes Burns and he was offside. And that's a free kick to Hull City, and that's enormous frustration for the home supporters. 1-0 they lead, though.
Wrong pass. Even Azon was the pass. Maybe the outside of the boot. He tried to hit Wes Burns. Maybe a little rebound, but Wes Burns just went too early.
Azon was going like a steam train through the middle, wasn't he?
I think you're right, though. I think Jack Clark had Lundstrom for pace, but he just held his run.
Yeah.
Maybe his tired legs are catching up at the moment.
Here is Lundstrom with a forward pass down the right-hand side for Cody Drammer. Drammer just tries to whip across him, but it's too straight. It's going to go out on the full. It is for a goal kick. So nearly a minute of the minimum 5 that have been added on have gone. Edging towards 3 points for Ipswich Town that would take them above Millwall and within striking distance of Middlesbrough, Darren Ambrose.
Yeah, it's been a real hard-fought contest this evening, and it still is. It's still not over. Nearly three and a half minutes to go of stoppage time, and Christian Wharton is taking as long as he possibly can on this goal kick.
Yeah. Boreham would have sealed the points. Surely they're 3-1 upon York City now in the National League. Charlie O'Connell and Newport, bottom of League 2, look to have won it at home against Tranmere. Cameron Evans for the Exiles. McBurney giving chase as Hull send the ball over halfway. 1-0 to Ipswich. Stoppage time underway here on Talksport 2. Drammer robbed on halfway. Jack Clark giving chase, but that should be tidied up by Charlie Hughes. Back for his keeper, and Pandor clears first on high into the Suffolk sky. Comes down on the head of Leif Davis, and his header finds Azon. Lovely cushion header out to this near side of the left, and Anis Mehmeti comes in field towards the edge of the area. Then he's dispossessed by Carl Joseph, who just crept up behind him. Didn't get a shout of man on from anybody around Portman Road. It's out of play for an Ipswich throw. 1-0 they lead. Can they hang on?
Thought he had ample opportunity, Mehmeti, to hit the shot. If not the shot, Jack Clark made a run down the right-hand side. He did neither.
Well, they've given the Man of the Match award to Azor Matusiwa. I think you've got to give your own Man of the Match award in a minute, Darren Ambrose, so have a bit of contemplation about who you think the award should go to, if you don't agree with the sponsors. Because it's Matusiwa's goal that separates these two sides, and what a goal. Kumas, he's fouled Furlong as he tried to get away down the Hull City left. There was just that pregnant pause in the crowd, thinking, is he going to let this go? But no, it was a quick whistle from Lewis Smith.
It's very, very clever defending. Just felt the arms in the back, Furlong. As soon as you feel that, you go down, you get the free kick, and that's exactly what he done.
Tortoises walk quicker than Christian Walton is towards.
Nikirovic is getting frustrating again.
Well, I think he wants a bit of it is a yellow card. Well, that's been coming, I would say, for Christian Walton, and he will clear left-footed downfield. Azon heads it straight up in the air. Lundstrom wins the 50-50 header with Mehmeti. Up it goes to halfway, gets over the head of McBurney, goes to the ground under pressure from O'Shea. Referee says no foul. McBurney gets to his feet and wins another header against Matusiwa. Drops on halfway for Lundstrom. Toe pokes it back to Hughes. Now Drammer. Just over a minute of added time to go. Here come Hull City looking for an equaliser. Drammer hits the cross against the back of Dan Neal. Hits it against Neal once again. Stayed in play, and it's gone out of play for a corner kick.
1 minute to go.
So is the goalkeeper going to go forward? Pandor's looking at the bench, and he's been given the nod. And the Hull City keeper's going forward for this corner. We're into the last minute of minimum stoppage time. Ipswich 1-0 up, but Hull are going to throw everything at this corner kick. Pandor is around the penalty spot. It's McNair to take it. Whips it in. Headed away by Matusiwa. Drammer brings it down, lobs it back out to McNair on this right-hand side. Bounces in front of him, controls it now. Plays it infield to the edge of the area. Gets it back, McNair. Hits it against Darnell Furlong. Desperate clearance from Ipswich. It'll go out of play right next to where Kieran McKenna is. He'll let the ball run out of play. Drammer almost falls over as he tries to clutch hold of the loose ball. The 5 minutes are nearly up. Last chance for Hull City. Clark clears it out of my sight, way into the sky. Drops on halfway. Lundstrom didn't know where it was at first. Dramé, a poor clearance. Might break for Anis Mehmeti here. But he loses out to Charlie Hughes. And then it's sent forward by Famewo, overhit. Referee looks at his watch, blows the whistle, and Ipswich Town have gone third in the Championship. They beat Hull City, who were level with them on points at the start of the night, by a solitary goal to nil. But what a goal! And what a way to open your Ipswich Town account for Azor Matosiwa, who was teed up just outside the area as we went to the last quarter of the game, and he cracks home a right-footed effort past Ivor Pandor, and that ended up being the decisive goal. And so Ipswich go into third place in the championship, and in doing so they get very close to Middlesbrough. They're 3 points behind the Borough with a game in hand over the side in second place. They had the lion's share of possession, but there was frustration building here until Matosiwa stepped up and delivered a hammer blow to Hull City, who now have to respond against another promotion chasing side, Millwall, on Saturday. Darren Ambrose.
What a game, Dance. What a game. Two teams going toe-to-toe with each other. 1-0 for me doesn't really tell the full story, particularly in the second half. I thought it was a fantastic second half from both sides. Hull City came out, up the tempo, really put it on at Ipswich as well. And Ipswich had to do what they did. You know, it's two different styles of play. One hitting, soaking up the pressure and trying to counter-attack, and one having all the possession, trying to break down a low block. And they finally done it in the second half with an outstanding strike from Matosiwa.
Well, he'll remember that for a long time to come, the Dutchman, with the way he caressed that strike. It's not like he's never scored in his senior career, but he's not been brought to Ipswich to do that. He's been brought to shore things up in front of the back four. But boy, oh boy, he struck that so cleanly. But Hull City had their chances coming forward. They've just gone across to their supporters, who are, in fairness to them, giving their Hull City players a round of applause for their efforts tonight, because they frustrated Ipswich for long spells tonight, Darren.
Yep, they gave everything, particularly in the second half. I say particularly, that's where they had a lot of their chances, but the first half they played really well. They nullified Ipswich to, well, one effort really from George Hurst, a half one from Jack Taylor. But other than that, there was nothing, and that's exactly their game plan. They came, it worked. They brought on Ollie McBurney at half-time. Then Carl Joseph towards the halfway through the second half to try and make something happen. They really went for it, probably last 20 minutes, but they couldn't quite make the breakthrough. Even at the very end, the corner kick, the goalkeeper going forward, they really tried. They're getting a generous round of applause from their supporters, as we hear now.
That's Matosiwa getting the applause from the Bobby Robson stand end. Well, he's the hero of the night as far as they're concerned. What does Darren Ambrose think? Who's his man of the match? Let's find out right now with McDonald's.
Man of the Match on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
All right then, Darren, over to you. Are you going to disagree with the sponsors who gave Azor Matosiwa the award tonight?
You know what, there was some great performances out there. Defensive displays from both was brilliant. I thought Ivor Panda, if he rocked up at the end and scored from the corner, it would have swayed my decision. But look, I'm not going against the sponsors. I think the match winner, not only for his goal, which was outstanding, but everything, all-round defensive display. He was calm. He was a calm presence in the midfield. He's getting all the plaudits from his team. So for me, a deserved man of the match for Matosiwa.
There you go. Azor Matosiwa gets the nod from Darren Ambrose for man of the match. That was all thanks to McDonald's.